It's Game On. Presented by Spectrum Sports.
And a very pleasant good evening from the Stan Sheriff Center in Manoa, where tonight the University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine looking to make it 2-0 to start the season as they take on the Red Storm of St. John's. And this is Game On, presented by Spectrum Sports for Rainbow Wahine Volleyball. And the reason why we are here a tad bit later than usual, because the earlier match just concluded. It was an exciting one. UW taking down San Diego in 4. You see the fourth set went extra points, 29-27 in favor of the Huskies. So UW 2-0, San Diego 1-1, Hawaii hoping to be 2-0 after tonight. Hi everybody, I'm Scott Robbs along with Lisa Strand-Ma and of course the coach Dave Shoji. And last night was fun. A lot of excitement, a lot of unknown going into last night's match against San Diego because of all the new players. Hawaii able to pull out such an exciting 5-set victory.
Well, definitely, you know, home opener. They played great in that first match. They had a little lull, and then all of a sudden they actually came to the arena to play. They showed up, they faced a challenge, and they faced it right on, and you gotta love the energy from every player that contributed. 11 players contributing last night, but what I loved the most about it was the team effort.
Well, we started really strong. We had a lot of adrenaline going, and I think we had a letdown after that. We win first game and had a total letdown in game 2 and 3, and then a lot of heart coming back in game 4, and obviously game 5 as well. So that was a great victory for us.
Well, let's look at highlights from last night's thrilling 5-set victory. Start off with the true freshman out of Sweden, Helvig. She was impressive.
Incredibly impressive, a true freshman. She's going up and over the block, playing a lot of international experience. One of the Swedish players that have come through and to this program. She has only one way to go.
Coach, how about the Oregon transfer, Jolie Rasmussen?
Well, I think you can see that she's the real deal. She does everything for the Rainbow and Wahine. She passes, she plays defense, she skies. I kind of judge a hitter by the vertical. She's above the net, her chest is above the net, and so she's the real deal. Does everything for the team, blocks the team last night.
Duck transfer, Brooke Van Sinkle, who has connections to Hawaii. Her father played for Hawaii, her mom played for HBU, but Brooke was everywhere.
You know what? Don't let this small young lady fool you. She is a true player. She does some great things on the court. And those are just 3 of the many players. Their number one played phenomenal last night. Hawaii hitting above 3 as a team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the hitting percentages for quite when you consider offense was a struggle most of the seasons for this Rainbow Wahine team. The options now for Hawaii.
Interesting about she didn't wear the libero jersey from Oregon because she was a hitter. They wanted her to hit out of the back row, so they didn't wear the libero jersey, even though she was probably their best passer in defense. They wanted her to hit, so that's really neat about her.
They really
7 players really stood. It was awesome. They all could hit, but they contributed when
Again, like Dave, I think it was just a cohesive. Everybody contributed. They know their goals, truly defined, and they have all bought into the training and the system that Robin Amo and her staff have do.
Yeah, because when Hawaii came out, we were kind of wondering what they would do. They decided to go with offense, so we saw Bailey Joy and Iolani, and they also decided to go without a libero. So kind of an unconventional line for Robin.
Very unconventional. I don't think plays this in the country. I think Nebraska played it in like 2003 with their middles and their setters. But, this was something that was, quite a surprise to all of us. Now that we've had 24 hours to digest, I really like it. I think she's utilizing her outside hitters as passers. They're defenders. They play great defense. We have 2 players out of the back row instead of usually 1. So I think the system really worked last night.
Is it harder to defend a team like that?
Well, I think so, but again, it's a new format. You gotta love that she's taken the best 6 players, or what she considers to be the best 6 players, and she's put them on the court, and it's obviously it worked. It's early in the season, it's hard to know, but the great thing about this team is there's a lot of depth, and if she had to turn it into a 5-1, which means one setter only instead of two setters, and changing it back to more traditional using the libero, she could.
Well, I kind of made the comment last night that Wahine needed to have those "Hello, my name is" stickers on the front of their jersey because there are so many new players, but there was one familiar face out there, and she's been out there for a while. That's setter Noreen Yosia, the senior out of Torrance, California. You see what she did a year ago. She was in a modified 6'2", used as an attacker on the right side as well as a setter. She had a terrific year last year, but now that she is a senior, she is the veteran of this team, and she's prepared to have her best season yet.
Noreen's been great. You know, she's defense-wise, offense-wise, just, you know, the effort and the attitude has all been really great, you know, since we started in 2 days. You know, I don't know if she's like, okay, I have like competition or what, like what her mindset is. It's her senior year and she wants to play, but for us, that's a good thing, you know. She's stepping up even more, even as a leader. Like she's actually trying to help some of our young ones out, which is so funny for me.
Just stepping up more and, you know, just communicating more with the new people that are new to the program and just making them feel comfortable, because, you know, Coach Robin and the coaches can be a little overwhelming at times, but just letting them know that they're coming from a good place and just making sure they're like having fun.
Well, Noreen's been around here for so long. She didn't have a particularly great night as a setter last night for Hawaii, but what she did was she showed that veteran moxie, and she really took control of that team after they dropped that third set.
Well, I think she can have a better connection in the middle. I think she was setting the middles a little too low, but I think tonight she's going to fix that because she worked on some things in practice today and looked at some film, and I think she'll be better tonight.
Lisa, what about what she did, though? After that third set, Hawaii's down 2-1. She took charge.
Yeah, she did. They had a timeout in between games there, their little break, and she just took the team aside and she basically took over the huddle. Again, not exactly sure what she said, but she was leading the team, talking to them, encouraging them, sharing with them her thoughts on what was going on. And I'll tell you one thing she did, the lone returning starter, what she really did great last night was defense. She had 14 digs. Her defense has improved as well as her serving. She served 20 balls from the service line alone. So she adds a lot of maturity and experience to this team.
Yeah, Hawaii's lucky to have a player like her, right, Dave? Because she can kind of do a little bit of everything when asked.
Well, she did, and you know, I noticed her serve last night. She lowered the toss. I don't know if that's something they worked on or wanted her to do, but I think it's less errors now. With the higher toss, there was more room for error, so I think that was the one big adjustment she made last night.
And do you think also the fact that she kind of played in a 6'2" a year ago helped her now, knowing that she has Bailey also, that it's not unfamiliar territory?
Well, I think her attitude is unbelievable because here's a 4-year player. She started every year. She's played all kinds of roles on the team, yet it doesn't seem to bother her to play the role she's in now, and that's half the time. Last year she played all the time,
right,
hitter and a setter. Now she's playing only half the time, but her attitude's been great.
It's awesome what you see from Noreen, who's a 3-time All-Big West Conference selection. All right, to break down tonight's matchup, and I'm sure discuss a bit about last night, let's go courtside to Kanoa and Chris. Gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Yeah, Kanoa Leahy next to Chris McLaughlin. And you've had about 22 hours or so to process what transpired in the season opener last night. We heard from the corner crew, but I would love to hear what you, C-Mac, thought about that debut.
Well, like Dave, I really liked what I saw last night. I love this new offense, and they haven't even tapped the potential, actually. They got 5 hitters out there at all times, so therefore they could have 2 players hitting out of the back row. They haven't tapped into that yet. I talked to Khalil Baxter before the game. He said, yep, that's coming, and defense are going to have a hard time dealing with 5 attackers coming at once.
What's interesting is after the match, Robin Amo talked about how we can run a more traditional type of system. That's always going to be there. We wanted to do something that we felt suited the personnel that we had. And yes, it is by normal volleyball standards a bit unorthodox. But this could be something where we see a different look systematically from Hawaii, not just night to night, but maybe even set to set here going forward.
She could do that very easily. You know, the transition from one type of lineup to another is simple because she's been doing it for 2.5 weeks in the preseason. It's like a lineup a day, so the players are really used to all that changing. And I can see her befuddling her opponents by throwing up a different lineup, like you said, every set. She feels like it.
All right, so they get the opening night victory. It's their first opening night win since 2015, but they have now a team that has a lot of continuity, right? St. John's coming out of the Big East. Continuity certainly is the term. They have had a women's volleyball program for 26 years. They've had one head coach that entire time.
Yes, Jen Persico, she's really a good coach. I got to watch her practice this week. Those are the lays. She's had players from Hawaii that she's recruited. She loves the current one, Sheena Yoshioka, out of Punahou, is really a good little defensive player. And so the St. John's alumni are out here in force, and there's Sheena passes the balls right now. But yeah, Jen's got quite a reputation there in New York as being a feisty kind of a coach. She's got a feisty kind of a team that digs a lot of balls. And they are international, to say the least.
Oh, to say the least, yes.
Unbelievable. I've never seen such an international team ever.
That's right. With a lot of last names that would qualify as broadcaster nightmares, we will do our best, certainly, out of respect to them. But this is a St. John's team that, yes, got swept last night by 13th-ranked Washington. However, those individual sets, at least certainly sets 1 and 2, were pretty competitive.
Yeah, they really were. You know, St. John's has big hitters on the pins, got a great little setter. They were passing pretty decently until they kind of broke down a little bit. Once their passing broke down, then they kind of broke down. But watch for them to give Hawaii all they can handle. They'll be a little bit fresher. They only went 3 games last night. Hawaii went 5, so we got to look at that.
That's a good point. Yeah, 11 blocks for Washington in that match against St. John's. Hawaii, that was maybe the one thing Robin Ummel was surprised by, was how effective the Rainbow Wahine block was throughout the evening. Will that be there again this evening? We have to wait and see. We'll see you back at first serve. For now, let's send it back over to the corner crew.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. We're going to take a break, but stick with us because when we return, we're going to talk about the mysterious libero position on this Rainbow Wahine team. Hawaii, St. John's, you're watching Game On.
It's the meteor shower of the decade, but you're too busy gazing at double the beef and double the layers you love. Maybe next decade. The triple-double crunch wrap box, only at Taco Bell.
Now there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Hawaii. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with the loan experts from Hawaii's #1 mortgage team. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
It's the meteor shower of the decade, but you're too busy gazing at double the beef and double the layers you love. Maybe next decade. The triple-double crunch wrap box, only at Taco Bell.
You're watching Spectrum OC16, 100% original, 100% local.
This is a fight. Not to the finish, but to the beginning. A fight that can only be won if we stand together for one cause. Him. Expert care for every new beginning.
Through every coastal window is a story. Those early starts and quiet afternoons where heroes are celebrated and dreaming of their next big adventure. See all of life's special moments through coastal windows, locally crafted for your island home.
So clear with coastal windows.
Welcome back inside the Stan Sheriff Center. Both teams warming up, getting ready for this one here on the second night of the opening weekend of the season. Hawaii taking on St. John's. Well, the libero position this season will be a little interesting for the University of Hawaii. You have Rika Okino returning from a year ago where she was more of a defensive specialist then a libero, and then you got Wahine, one of the other transfers from Oregon. Local girl went to Kamehameha, coming here back home. But this season, the libero position, well, they're going to play a little bit of a different role for the Bows.
We have to play with a lip. You know, there's other ways that you can go around since you have so many hitters, outside hitters. You know, you can leave them all on the court, and then you can have, you know, 2 setters going at the same time with all hitters at the same time. So that's a possibility. Besides those 3, you know, in the last 2 weeks, Rika's, you know, been stepping up with both passing and defense, you know, and Kyra's right behind. You know, with just a little bit less accuracy. She's just got to work a little bit more. I think Janelle, you know, I've told her, like, if you're already 3 deep and you know that, you know, the other 2 is kind of hard to get on the court, then you have to look at other ways that you can actually get on the court, which is a serving sub, come in, serve really good, and play some defense, you know, get some points for the team.
Look at that picture of Dave Shoji. It's time now to weigh in. Brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Dave, you've got some pretty good-looking guns, I tell you. I'm pretty impressed. All right, guys, talking about the libero position. We saw Hawaii last night start without one and pretty much go the entire match without a libero. Libero or no libero, Coach?
Well, I like the system that Robbins devised, no libero. This is my take on it. If your libero or your back row specialist is not one of your top 3 or 4 passers, then you should have your 3 or 4 best passers out there, and that's what she came up with last night. So we had 4 passers last night. All the outside hitters were passing at some time in the match, and it worked. I thought we passed really well.
And I agree. I think that what happens in the libero position, it was established in 1999. Coach Soji played numerous years without a libero. He just put his best team out there. And that's what I think Coach Robin Santos Amo is doing right now. She's doing that so that she can have her best players out. But the other thing that they're doing is the liberos are becoming the serving specialists. They came in last night and did a phenomenal job. Rika Okina and Kyra Hanawahine both came in, served well, dug some balls, and really were very focused. They were put in late in the match and did a fabulous job being defensive specialists.
I got a trivia question for you guys. The last middle blocker that played back row and passed for the UH Wahine was? Angelica Junquist. And then the next year when she went pro, they put the libero in. She called me and said, Dave, they're taking me out of the back row. Can you believe that?
Well, you have a soft spot in your heart for liberos. Your son happens to be probably the best libero in the world. So
who's that?
Yeah. But, you know, it worked last night, and it's something that I think Robin really is liking, having those options. We saw Kyra come in the 5th set as a defensive specialist, come in and serve, and she made a huge dig in that 5th set. Hawaii scored 3 points behind her serving, so it kind of gives her, as we said, it's an unconventional way they run the team. It gives her more options.
Well, you want your best players out there when it counts. So if it's a libero or not a libero, your best players are on the court, and that's what she had last night.
What do you think about if you do use a libero? Does it take away from this team? Is that why?
Well, I think you just have so many more offensive threats. Basically, these 6'2" and 5'1s, all these numbers we're throwing at you folks, that means that you have 1 setter on the court, you have 5 hitters, so they can dig, and then they can also attack from the back row. That's where the benefit is. But number 1, they've got to be able to pass that first ball, no matter what. Libero, outside hitter, whoever they are, that first contact becomes the most important.
How do you think their passing was last night?
Well, it kind of dropped off in game 2 and 3, but we got it back together. I think the legs came back in game 4 and 5, and so I thought we passed really well at the end.
All right, we'll find out what role the libero/defensive specialists play tonight. All right, we'll remind everybody, get the greatest plays, hardest hits, and schedule info by following Spec Sports High on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. When we come back, we'll break down tonight's matchup, Hawaii and St. John's.
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular event, which means more of this. The kind of elation you can only experience after getting a great deal on a Honda Civic or Civic hatchback. Or an Accord. All come standard with the Honda Sensing suite of safety and driver assistive features. And as you can see, all will provide you with plenty of joy. Come be a part of it today.
Get a great deal on the Honda Civic and find your happy place at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
There's Cheryl and Brandon. I think you'd like it. Josiah. Nice day. And Blake and Mari. Whoa, that's high. We're Hoku, a credit union with a single purpose to help our members create a brighter financial future. We're here for people, not profits. That's why we offer accounts that earn members cash back, reimburse ATM fees, and even pay interest a little more generously. Our membership is growing, so why not give us a shot? Oh, nice shot. Hoku, for a brighter future.
Why do I love being a doctor at Kaiser Permanente? I get to practice in the place I grew up.
Because doctors are empowered to do what's right for you, not what an insurance plan approves.
When we pull up your records, we see your entire history from every Kaiser Permanente facility, so we can give you the best possible care.
Your primary care doctor, your specialists, it's great. We all work together as one team.
I don't just work here, I am a patient too. I wouldn't trust my family's healthcare to anyone else.
University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior Football. Bring the stadium experience home to your home. Hawaii football on Spectrum Sports pay-per-view. Order it today. Time Out for Health is brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jillian Noy, sports medicine physician at Palimomi Medical Center. I'm here today with our patient who's been having knee pain. The pain specifically goes from the bottom of her kneecap along to the shin bone. It's sore when she tries to jump, but it bothers her even if she's running, going up and down stairs, or trying to straighten her leg against resistance. She seems to have patellar tendonitis or tendinopathy, also known as jumper's knee. It's a common overuse injury of the knee that we often see in people or athletes who do a lot of jumping, as well as even running, going up and down stairs, but we can also see it in people who tend to overdo their activities too quickly. So one of the exercises that we can do is I'll have the patient lie back, and we call these straight leg raises. So if you can just straighten your leg and bring it back down. Another exercise that we can do though is having the patient lie on their non-painful knee. So I'll have you lie on the left side and kind of do straight leg raises to the side. So these are just some of the treatment options that we have, but if you feel like the pain is not getting a lot better or you have these symptoms, I recommend that patients usually follow up with their primary care physician.
Another good crowd expected for tonight's matchup. Hawaii taking on the Red Storm of St. John's. All right, let's fire up the dashboard and take a look at some of the matchups here going on inside the arena. Hawaii and St. John's. Hawaii winners in 5 last night over San Diego. St. John's getting swept by Washington. There you see the numbers are going to favor Hawaii, especially the kill percentage, 320 to 039. Hawaii's blocking was outstanding an evening ago. Pretty much everything but the digs favoring the Rainbow Wahine.
Well, definitely, and St. John's just really struggled offensively. They made a lot of unforced errors, and Hawaii's block was spot on. 15 blocks last night. Very outstanding blocking night for the Wahine.
You can't take St. John's lightly, though. This is a squad that won 23 matches a year ago. They returned 3 starters. There you see some of the players from a night ago. They struggled, but they were going up against number 13 Washington.
That's right, and Rachel Rostelli, she's a 6'4" lefty. She plays opposite. She's a big and a hard-hitting young lady. They just, again, struggled offensively. They made a lot of hitting errors.
Well, I think Hawaii mentally will be okay tonight. Physically, I'm a little worried because Jolie Rasmussen took a lot of swings. Brooke Van Stickel took a lot of swings. Hana took a lot of swings. So I hope they can come back physically because it's a short turnaround, and that's what I worry about tonight.
What we'll tell you early on how they're going to play is they're usually you were on the sideline for 42 years. You could probably tell pretty early how your team's going to play, couldn't you?
Well, I asked Robin about the starting lineup tonight, whether she was going to have the same lineup. She was, I'm going to watch them warm up. If they have a bad warm-up, I may sub somebody out.
But the good thing is, unlike the last couple of years, there's depth on this year's team.
That's right, and I'd be really surprised if she switched it up this early on. I think she wants to go with the team that's got her into tonight's lineup. But again, she's got a lot of opportunities on the bench and players who are just willing to do anything to contribute to this team.
And I think she also wants to set an identity early with this team. You know, we're talking about the libero and running two centers. I think that's who she wants to be, don't you?
Well, I think that she's going to see how this match goes and then go from there. And she did a great job last night subbing. I thought that fifth set sub with Kyra coming in and serving was a brilliant move. They used Tiffany Westerberg in game 3, and she finished the match. So I think Robin's right on when it comes to being on top of who's playing well.
Well, we're only one match into the season. It's a process, and the process continues here tonight. Hawaii and St. John's. Kanoa Chris will have the call of the action. The three of us will be back when this one's Pal. Enjoy the match.
Oh, Hawaii self-storage.
Night 2 of the Hawaiian Airlines Classic features the Red Storm of St. John's and the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine. And with that, we welcome you inside the Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy next to Chris McLaughlin and C-Mac. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, for St. John's, they simply got to bring more offense to the table. Last night they had 26 hitting errors. They hit .039. That's not a good number. That's not going to win any match. And for Hawaii, the emotional letdown is my biggest concern. And some players who played a lot of rotations and took a lot of swings. We got to keep an eye on them, as Dave Shoji said, especially, I would say, looking at Jolie Rasmussen and Brooke Van Sickle in particular.
An emotional 5-set match, a victory over a nationally ranked opponent, USD. The Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineups will be scrolling at the bottom of your screen shortly. The opening serve from Klara Mikhailova out of the Czech Republic goes long, and Hawaii on the board first. So again, last night we saw that unorthodox system from Hawaii with the setters substituting in for the middle blockers and no primary libero out there on the floor. As that one goes long off of the left-handed palm of Raquel Rastelli, 6'4" sophomore from Parma, Italy. But Hawaii 1-0 for the first time since 2015 with that 5-set victory last night over the Toreros. First win versus a ranked non-conference opponent since they defeated Penn State back in 2015 as part of the NCAA tournament regional semifinal. So last night was, in a sense, a signature victory for sure for Robin Omo, but maybe even a little bit of a cathartic victory for Robin Omo.
I really believe so. You know, that's a great way to put it. You know, it was really a breakthrough in so many areas.
Here's Amber Ijidi, one of the freshman faces, and she annihilates that set. Ijidi had 4 kills on 7 swings, hit .286 with a pair of blocks last night against San Diego.
Well, I like the way she saw the 2 blockers in front of her, and she just cut the ball back across her body to avoid the blockers. That's showing some maturity for a freshman.
3 serving 1. Here's one of the other Frosh, Hannah Helvig. Outside the set goes to Efrosini Alexakou, and Alexakou smacks it down. 6'1" sophomore from Thessaloniki, Greece. A preseason All-Big East selection.
She is their go-to player. She was #1 in kills last year. She'll be the go-to player tonight, I'm sure.
Backside, this is Riley Wagner down the line, misses wide, wanted a touch, no such call, and we're knotted up at 3 here early on. St. John's coming in 0-1 by virtue of the 3-set defeat. They lost in a sweep at the hands of 13th-ranked Washington last night. But as mentioned in the game on portion of the broadcast, at least sets 1 and 2 were certainly tightly contested. They were competitive, to say the least, as Jolie Rasmussen, who had the big night for Hawaii, was just beastly with 19 kills, hitting .390 3 blocks, 2 solos as well. Misses the floor on that swing, though, and it is St. John's up 4-3. Ijidi, the dink, diving save there by the libero Amanda Sanabia, and then plugged through the block by Alexikou. And so a 4-0 run here by the Red Storm. Off to an 0-1 start this season. Preseason pick to finish 3rd in the Big East.
And 2 of those 4 points in this run coming from Hawaii's unforced hitting errors.
You'll see it goes middle. That's Ijidi, and she gets it down again. It wasn't the purest connection, but as we saw throughout fall practice, rarely does Amber Ijidi not get a good flush contact.
And she hit one last night. You could feel the Terraflex was pounding. Felt like an earthquake over here. And she turned around, had the biggest smile after she hit that. Yeah, she's a good one. So, the second good player we've had from Louisiana, right?
That's right. Second player, period, from Louisiana in this Rainbow Wahine program. Bailey Choi, the other setter for Hawaii, the grad transfer from Utah out of Iolani School, into the net there on that serve. So 6 serving 4. And Alexikou, who had 8 kills, hit negative numbers, though, last night against UW, goes long on that serve. So much was talked about the mystery of what lineup, what system Robin Amo and coaching staff would employ to start this season. What are your opinions of what we saw? Again, a somewhat infrequently used system last night with the 2 setters and no libero, even though we have Rico Aquino on the serve here. The block is up, but it goes off the block and out off of the palm of Clara Mikhailova.
I like the system. I think it's going to, if they can get it to work and if they can pass well enough, they can have an offense that'll have 5 attackers, 3 in the front row and 2 coming out of the back, all coming at the center at once. It'll be very difficult to defend once Hawaii gets it, all the nuances worked out.
We'll have a net violation here against Skylar Williams. And so another point for the Red Storm. Are there any concerns with that system, whether you're talking about substitution totals or anything along those lines?
Substitution totals will be an issue in long sets, but that's going to be the rare case. And if they do have to have a setter go through the front row, certainly Noreen Yosia did it all last year, so she knows how to handle front row duty easily.
Violation called against Bailey Choi, going up over the net as a back row player. And so here we are, St. John's off to a positive start, 9 serving 5, and the crowd feeling a little anxiety starts to turn up the volume. Bump set to Brooke Van Sickle off of one leg. Van Sickle, 12 kills last night, hit 440 C-Mac, 14 digs, a service ace, and how about 4 blocks, 2 of which were solo style.
It was almost like a perfect night for Brooke Van Sickle. What a debut in a Wahine uniform.
One of 4 Division I transfers this offseason for Hawaii. Wagner bump sets back row to another one of the Division I transfers, Jolie Rasmussen, who just seemed to get stronger and stronger as the night went on against San Diego.
She's just happy to be injury-free. You talked last night about all the injuries she's had. This first time she's been healthy, I think, in 4 years. Is that what she said, Kanoa?
That's right. Transfer from Oregon, as is Van Sickle, as is one of the defensive specialists on the roster we saw late in the match last night, Kyra Hanawahine. There's Helvig. And Helvig, whose potential is unlimited, seemingly. 13 kills on 36 swings last night. Hit 306 against San Diego. Were you surprised at all at the amount of attempts they gave Hana Helvig?
Absolutely. You know, usually you break freshmen in easily and slowly. But not with Helvig last night. She got all that the setters could give her. One of the things I liked about the way she played, she always hits the ball high and deep into the court. Tough to defend that ball.
And that's now 4 straight points ripped off here by the Rainbow Wahine. We are knotted at 9. Rasmussen again with the serve. High outside set goes to Mikhailova, dug up by Rasmussen. So Choi, backside, Helvig over a double block. Was there a touch? No touch. It goes long. Robin Amo considering the challenge here. But it looked like assistant coach Kaleo Baxter maybe talked her out of it, or did he? She challenges the call. And she is going to challenge what I think has traditionally been the most difficult call to prove or disprove by way of the replay system we have in this arena. We don't quite have the resolution to make this a clear as day type of review.
And look for the fingers bending back. Difficult to see there. Very difficult. See, one of the great things about this challenge system for a coach who's behind, like Robin Amo is, it's like an extra timeout. It's probably the best view right there, and you can't. Really hard to tell if any fingers are being bent back or not.
I kind of thought from that angle it looked like Katariyu did get a touch on the left hand, and in fact that's what Dixon Chun saw as well. And so a good challenge for Robin Amo. Dixon Chun, by the way, the down official. Dan Hironaka up top on the ladder. Ryan Scudder, Randy Rubinall, the two line judges. So that's now 5 straight points for the Rainbow Wahine, and they now lead here in this opening frame. The dump shot as Erica Dimalu able to catch Hawaii off guard. 6-foot senior from Milan, Italy. Preseason All Big East selection for the 3rd straight year. She has been a staple as an all-star in that conference. Outside, Helvig. That was heavy-handed.
They were picking on her there. They're hoping that the freshman would not pass the ball well, but you know what? She is one good passer. Watch her pass the ball right on the money, and then she gets a split block on the outside. Great set from Bailey Choi that time.
That was another storyline, and something that Robin Amo was clearly pleased with when talking with the media after the match, was just how well the freshmen were able to respond in this atmosphere of the Stan Sheriff Center for the very first time. Off the block, the save there by Yosia. Here's Hana. Gets another kill. 4 kills, 5 swings for Helvig.
Not a bad start. And I talked to her fellow countryman, Angelica Yilquist, before the match. And I asked Angelica, hey, are you worried about the emotional letdown at all? And she says, don't worry, I got it covered. If they start letting down, I'm going to let them know that it's not okay.
Good looking swing there by Mikhailova. She had 8 kills, hit 0.87 against Washington, but UW, as always, a really strong defensive team. They had 11 total blocks in that match against the Johnnies. How about that one? Laying the lumber into that set was Amber Ajiti.
Nice save by Yosia at the net. That pass a little bit too tight. But Yosia up to the task and saved it.
So Hawaii up 13-11. Van Sickle with the float serve. Go right side, and that's Katariyu. Check that, Restelli. And that'll be a point for St. John's.
And at 6'4", you never know that when she was younger, she had 2 years of classical dance. Watch for her to have some good footwork, right?
As you take a look at Sheena Yoshioka, the Punahou alum, 5'3" sophomore, one of the defensive specialists on this squad, a 2-year starter at libero for Punahou. 14 serving 12, and Helvig sends it across. Backside, Restelli. Restelli at 6'4", the southpaw swing. That's a pretty good combination for an opposite hitter.
Touches 10-3. She gets up and grabs the rim, so she's got some range. And in practice this week, I love the way she swung. She hit the ball all over the place.
Averaged over 2.5 kills per set last year for St. John's. Imalo getting a piece of that Rasmussen dink. So St. John's on the attack. Good cover there by Yosia. Van Sickle slaps it over. St. John's on the attack. Oh, that set a little low there for Alexikou. So Hawaii now with the advantage. Rasmussen dug up by Alexikou. She'll get the bump set on the outside off of one leg, but access is denied. Aijiri in the thick of things. And Hawaii gets to 15 first. Timeout on the floor. Lady Bows by a deuce. Welcome back. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Heineken. 487. That is Hawaii's combined kill percentage in the sets they won last night. Sets 1, 4, and 5. 40 kills, just 2 hitting errors. You see the kill percentage, though, in sets 2 and 3, where things dropped off a bit. They already have 3 hitting errors in this opening set against St. John's. And how about that collection of Hawaii fans, huh?
There's a little Sparlin, a little Patton, a little McLaughlin.
Hall of Famer Beth. Outside set. And that is Alexa Koo finding that end line. I think some of the members of the Hawaii coaching staff felt like that may have been an out ball, but a point for St. John's, and no review here from Robin Amo. Already used one in this set.
Alexa Koo, the Big East Freshman of the Year last year, All Big East first team.
Sends it into the net.
She's a player, you know, she's a solid player. Look, she's solid, strong. It's a heavy ball. Got what you called last night a live arm.
Yeah, there you go. Here's Okino. Pass tight to the net. Kaylee Wood is dug up. Oh, that's set tight to the net, and then Van Sickle tools the block with the left hand. And the ever-present smile to boot.
Looks like she's happy in a Rainbow Wahine uniform. What do you think?
She seems to be enjoying herself. She's loving it. Hawaii loving this 3-point advantage in set 1.
This presentation of Rainbow Wahine Volleyball is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Hawaii Honda Dealers.
Welcome back. We rejoin live action here. Rico Okino with the serve out of the timeout. Hawaii by 3 in this opening frame, but a nifty move there by Erica DiMallo, the setter for St. John's. A unanimous all Big East first team selection. 3rd year on the first team. As you see, Robin Amo, a little body English there on that last Brooke Van Sickle ad-libber. She gets about as much physical work in as the players themselves on the sideline.
She does. She loves playing the point as if she was playing again.
This time, DiMallo hands up on Van Sickle. And St. John's consecutive points out of the timeout. See the blocking numbers for DiMallo. Was 3rd on the team in that category. Middle set, that's Skylar Williams. Good dig there, Sanabia, and it's returned. Free chance here for Hawaii. Right side, it's Rasmussen.
A great first pass by Helvig to get that rally started. She continues to surprise as a primary passer. I knew she'd be pretty good in the front row, but the passing was going to be a question mark, and she's just been phenomenal so far in 2 nights.
Outside, and that's McKelliver. He gets it right back for the Red Storm. McKelliver, a transfer from Lindsey Wilson College, where she helped lead the team to a 2017 NAIA national title.
And I will mention All-American that year as well.
Yeah, by both the NAIA and the ABCA. Overpass there. And an easy put down for Katariu. And we are tied at 18. Robin Amo wants to talk things over. She signals for a timeout. What are we seeing here in the last stretch, you think, C-Mac?
Well, I think Hawaii's playing a little erratically right now. They started out down 9-5 to start this match. And then they came back, took the lead, and all of a sudden they're on that roller coaster again that they were on sometimes last night. And the roller coaster is heading in the wrong direction right now as St. John's making a nice little comeback. Hawaii not playing as good a defense as they normally do, not blocking as well as they did last night. Passing, I think, has been pretty good, though, for the most part.
Well, this opening set very much up in the air. Let's take a look at tonight's Jack Fact while we have a little break in the action. Instant impact, yes, 8 of Hawaii's 9 newcomers saw action in last night's match against San Diego, and they were responsible for 58 of the 63 kills by Hawaii, 13 of the 15 blocks, 40 of 56 digs, and 4 of 6 aces. So instant impact indeed.
That's an amazing number. Amazing. I can't remember the last time that newcomers have had this much impact on a team. Of course, they're 9 of 16, so they're over half the team are newbies.
Well, what has been remarkable, even aside from the volleyball X's and O's aspect of it, is how much this team seems to really enjoy each other in and out of the gym. For a group of newcomers who weren't maybe all that familiar, obviously you had some clicks, the transfers from Oregon, you had some familiarity with some of the players, but by and large, for that large a group to come together for the first time in a new uniform and click like that is pretty remarkable. The ace for St. John's, Erica DiMalo, puts the Red Storm on top here, 19 serving 18.
And who DiMalo's favorite athlete is? Micah Christensen, of all people.
That's a good one. Oh boy. Wagner and Rasmussen. Miscommunication or lack of communication there. And a freebie for St. John's. And the look says it all from Robin Amo.
I'm surprised we didn't see more of that last night with a brand new lineup and first night. There were very few miscommunications, but tonight we've already had a couple.
Williams, the second time was a charm. Hawaii gets back within one. A competitive opening stanza here. And you kind of alluded to it. You thought that this St. John's team would put up a legitimate fight. This could be what we're looking at all night, possibly.
Absolutely. You know, they've got these are 15 players from 7 countries, and they've all got great international experience. The coaching staff's solid. They know what they're doing. So it's everything Hawaii can handle right now, for sure.
Great serve by Yosia. It will be returned, though. Yosia with some options. Goes middle to Igidi. Blocked. Good track down there by Wagner. Bump set to Van Sickle. Off the fingertips of the block. St. John's on the attack. This is Mikhailova dug up over the net. Middle set. The dink. Sniffed out by Yosia. And a free chance now for St. John's with the advantage. Right side. Rastelli off the block. Keeps it alive. Rastelli a second time to dink. Right there is Helvey. Van Sickle the touch. And the sequence goes on. Rastelli a third time off the block. Diving save Okino. Middle set. Igidi is roofed. Wow.
Great rally. Both sides get down the floor. Look how happy Rastelli is. And the crowd now comes alive. Can you hear them? They do not want this Bow team to lose a set.
Certainly not the opening set. Very much a tone setter. Igidi, that one did not get above the tape. And so all of a sudden, St. John's is up 3. And they can see the light at the end of this first set tunnel.
Robin Amo may want to call another timeout here pretty soon, not let the Johnnies get too far ahead.
Hawaii needs it. Backside, it's Van Sickle. The block was up. Yosia goes back row this time to Wagner. We didn't really see that last night.
That's what I'm saying about this offense, Canoa. You know, once this offense really gets fine-tuned, we can have 5 players attacking all at the same time, making a nightmare for the defensive coordinators on the other side.
Wagner, 6-foot freshman from Dublin, Ohio. Packing some heat on that swing. Alexikou into the twine, and Hawaii right back within a point. And now it will be Joanne Persico signaling for a timeout to talk things over with her Red Storm squad. The St. John's women's volleyball program began in 1994, so this is the 26th season of women's volleyball there in Queens, New York, and they've had one head coach, and it's Joanne Persico.
She's done a great job, and she's also done a nice job of dipping into Hawaii's market as well and recruiting players from here. Pretty much every year there's somebody from Hawaii on her roster.
Well, get the greatest plays, hardest hits, and schedule info by following Spec Sports High. That's Spec Sports High on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yeah, Coach Persico was fun to talk to prior to the game. You know, we're trying to get the accurate renditions of the pronunciations for the St. John's players. They have a lot of international players, you know, some difficult names from a broadcasting standpoint, certainly.
Yeah.
And Coach Persico was funny because she is a proud New Yorker. And she said, well, I can tell you the pronunciations, but it's going to be the New York accent pronunciations. But she did a great job. And how about all of the lei that she has been bestowed here tonight?
And some of those, I asked her where they came from, and she said some of them were from people who have parents and relatives of people who have played for St. John's in the past, and some of them were current parents who made this trip.
As you said, a lot of
connections. And the Yoshiokas, I'm sure, gave her a lei there somewhere.
But as you said, a lot of connections all the way across the continent and here into the state of Hawaii. And right now, a tightly fought opening frame. Van Sickle sends it long out of the timeout.
And the Cardinal rules don't serve out after timeout, especially if the other team just called it to slow you down and take the momentum away.
And so here is the aforementioned Sheena Yoshioka. Big East All-Academic team selection last year, but we're going to have another timeout before she serves. So Robin Amo trying to see if she can affect perhaps this upcoming serve by Yoshioka.
I'm trying to ice her a little bit. She played for High Intensity Volleyball Club here in Honolulu. Also was on the 2016 state championship team. She played at Punahou.
This is the second all-time meeting between these two programs. The first meeting came back in 2014, and it was in this tournament, the Hawaiian Airlines Classic. Hawaii won that one 3-1.
It's amazing how this Hawaiian Airlines Classic continues year after year after year to draw the great teams. A lot of teams like to come out to Hawaii before their school starts, especially if they're a quarter system. They come out, school hasn't started, they can come here a few extra days, not miss school. They love this tournament.
Well, and this tournament has always drawn such strong competition. I mean, there has never really been a year where Hawaii has dipped its toe, so to speak, into the pool of a season opening weekend. It is always throwing themselves to a degree and their players into the oven, right? Going up against some of the top-notch teams in the country, and this weekend's no different.
Yeah, I remember Dave showed you a few years ago, invited #1 ranked Texas in for the opener. I said, Dave, why did you do that, man? Crazy or what? He says, they'll have no film on us. I guess brand new players, they had no film. We're going to surprise them. And sure enough, they did. One of the great upsets of all time.
That's right.
One of the great victories.
That was a special night in this wonderful facility. 23 serving 21. Hawaii needs it. Helvig delivers. That's kill number 5 for Hana Helvig. Big serve here for the freshman. And it goes off of the shoulder of Ileana Rodriguez and out. She got handcuffed on that one.
Both coaches out of timeout now. It's up to the players to play this one out.
We're tied at 23. Helvig sends it long. Service errors at very inopportune times late in this set for the Rainbow Wahine. And now Rico Okino going in as the libero in the back row here. And a must-get service reception for Hawaii. It goes to Okino, puts it on the money. Outside, Rasmussen off the block and out. And we're going to play a little extra here in set number 1.
And for a team, Hawaii's played a team, St. John's, that had 26 hitting errors last night. It seems to me like it's be really important to force this St. John's team to have to side out. So serve the ball in would be like paramount importance.
Bailey Choi with the serve. Low pass outside and still able to find the floor. It's Kaylee Wood, 6'2" junior from the Woodlands, Texas. Averaged 2.8 kills per set a season ago. Was held to just 1 kill on 7 swings last night. That was a biggie right there at a crucial juncture of this opening frame.
She was number 2 in kills last year, so she's had a slow start so far this year.
Alexikou with the serve. Choi high balls it to Wagner, and she gets it across. The hard slice there by the freshman Wagner.
Once again, the Stan Sheriff crowd being treated to extra points.
The 6th tie of this first frame. And a botched transition there. Sanabia had a rough go of it on the service reception. And so now Hawaii has Aloha ball here in the first. Sanabia this time puts it on the button. The middle set touched over, good save there by Choi. Van Sickle, that one dug up by Rastelli. Outside, McKelliver. And we'll play on here in the first, and that got a fist pump from Joanne Persico.
Solid swing that time by McKelliver. High snapper, 2 in the block.
And it's Sanabia, 5'5" senior, transfer from Florida State with the serve. Choi has to bump set it, high ball to Van Sickle off the block. Choi this time goes backside, Rasmussen over the double block, but it's dug up. St. John's on the attack. McKelliver somehow got it to hit that end line, and St. John's with the point.
I think she swung with all her might there and whiffed. And it just somehow parachuted back in, dropped on the back line. That was an amazing shot. You see one of those shots a year maybe.
That's right. Just how you plan it, right?
Yeah, watch this. She backs off, she gets a good set. She's one-on-one, takes a full swing, and it just sort of goes up and then floats down in the back line as if it was coming out of the sky with a parachute.
Smack dab on that end line, and so it's now Aloha ball for St. John's. Sanabia was 2nd on the team in aces last year. A big serve here. Handled by Okino. Choi, high and away. Van Sickle, dug up by Sanabia. Ball is centered and getting a swing from the back rows. Alexikou, and she finishes the deal. St. John's takes the opening set off of Hawaii. And the Red Storm, after getting swept at the hands of Washington last night, they make a statement saying they're ready for a much lengthier battle here tonight. Well, whether you look at the first set as one that Hawaii let slip away, or you look at the first set as one that St. John's was able to come back at the very end and fulfill, it's St. John's with the 1-0 lead here to start this night 2 of the Hawaiian Airlines Classic.
Could be a little wake-up call for the Rainbow Wahine as the Red Storm came storming by the Wahine late in that set. Congrats to Joanne Persico and her staff and the players for playing well when they had to. My sense is that the Rainbow Wahine got a few words from Robin Amo about how to get a little more fired up. Remember, these two teams had opposite nights last night. The Red Storm played for like an hour and 15 minutes and were swept in 3 by Washington. Hawaii, on the other hand, they went back to the hotel early, probably around 8 o'clock. Hawaii, meantime, was playing till like 9:30, 10 o'clock and in a 5-gamer, a barn burner against the University of San Diego. So 2 completely different energy outputs last night. And I think Robin Amo might be looking for possibly new players that might have fresher legs. We'll see.
St. John's hitting 333 in that opening set versus 200 for Hawaii.
Looks like same lineup for Hawaii and same lineup for St. John's.
Red Storm actually with the slight advantage in the blocking department. 2 total team blocks compared to 1 in that first set for the Rainbow Wahine. So here we go, set number 2, Hawaii playing from behind. You'll see it with the serve. Rastelli took something off. Van Sickle able to sniff it out. Back row set goes to Rasmussen. Holy moly, Jolie.
Holy moly, Jolie is right. Where did that come from? A D-ball for Rasmussen. Normally she hits the pipe out of the middle. But again, this is one of the things about this offense of having 5 attackers coming at you at all times from everywhere. Tough to defend if Hawaii's passing well and if the setting is got good location.
Feels like we're only scratching the surface with some of the wrinkles that will be laid out here this season offensively and in transition for Hawaii.
I would say they've got like 50% of the offense in.
Serve goes out.
Maybe even if that. Hawaii's 5th service error. Uncharacteristic of them to miss that much.
Yeah, and missed at some crucial times in that first set too. I mean, there's service errors and then there's service errors.
Exactly.
When they really matter. Here's Helvig. Blocked and roofed. That was Kaylee Wood, the 6'2" middle, who set the single season blocks record and career solo blocks record at John Cooper High School in Texas. So she's been doing this for a long time. Igidi, that one will not be returned to sender. She smacks it off of the Terraflex, and we're tied at 2. Igidi out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
3 times All-State, hit .459 in high school. How about that? Not even you hit that much. .459, that's it. It's like a batting average in baseball.
That's a Hall of Fame average in baseball. Igidi, a freebie.
She hit a home run on that one.
A would-be freebie. So 3 serving 2. St. John's dodging a BB. Almost literally on that one. And Rastelli forces the overpass. And thank you very much, says Alexikou. Alexikou had 15 double-doubles last season for St. John's and was the AVCA East Coast Freshman of the Year. Pretty large award, certainly, when you consider the sample size. Wagner had to just backhand slap it over, so St. John's with the advantage. Rastelli down the line. Great dig there, Okino. Over the net, though. Outside, Alexikou. Denied by Igidi.
Amber Igidi moving well to the outside. A little shuffle step to the outside. Going out to the right side to get Alexikou, and it was a solid block. 4 hands across right there. Joining the Manoa Roofing Company, I believe.
That's right, Wagner up there with her. Slide goes to Wood. Forget about it.
Rasmussen had a couple of those last night. There's a tight set in her area. She's really good at penetrating over the net and just stuffing it right back down.
Had a pair of solo blocks last night. There's a solo stuff there. We're tied at 4, but again, an out serve. What can you say as a coach when you're seeing the service errors pile up?
You know, it's really difficult because serving tough is really important in this game if you want to score points. So there's a fine point where you back off just a little bit, your miles per hour, but not too much. You back off too much, it'll come ram it right down your throat. So it's a very tough thing. And also, if as a coach, if you're going to tell the players back off, then pretty soon they're backing off and missing serves by backing off.
Sure.
So you kind of don't say anything and hope that they know what they did wrong and they'll correct it. Most players are that way at this level.
Wood off the block. Good cover by Wagner, but nobody had her back.
Not sure why Westerberg didn't go for that ball. She looked at, I guess, a back row player to take that.
Yeah, Tiffany Westerberg, another freshman from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, Canada, was inserted into the match in the 3rd set last night and ended up finishing that thing. And was impressive in the process. 3 kills, hitting .429 outside. Rasmussen delivers again. 41 swings against San Diego an evening ago.
And she had like, I think 17 or 18 in the last 2 sets, where she got most of her kills.
Yeah, she was the workhorse down the stretch. Got a good piece of that block. Hovers above the net. Van Sickle with the dig. Rasmussen the dink. Good diving save, Rastelli. Here's Mikhailova. Dug up by Wagner. And then Choi tried to catch him napping, but a good layout save there by Sanabia. Free ball coming here for Hawaii. Choi goes middle. Westerberg finds that end line.
Hawaii set the middle only 18% of the time. Most of the time, teams like to set the middle about 25% of the time. So watch for Hawaii, I think, to set the middle more if they get good passes.
Well done there by DiMalo. That is always a threat.
So that was a really good tip shot. He had a lot of speed on it. Nice location.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Rasmussen off the block and out. The 6th kill for Jolie Rasmussen. And that was just ferocious off of the hands. Backside, Mikhailova. And that one finds the floor for another St. John's point. They have been playing right with Hawaii from the get-go.
Yeah, there's no back down in this St. John's team. They are tough, gritty.
Outside, Helvig. Good up there by Sanabia. Alexikou. Dug up in the back row by Rasmussen. Here's Helvig again, trying to chop it off of the block. Rastelli. And the tall southpaw once again puts a crack on it. And it's St. John's jumping in front here in the second.
Great back set from DiMalo that time.
And Sickle had to just knuckle it over. Set was tight to the net. So here comes Alexikou through the block and down. 10-8 Red Storm.
The Red Storm are really taking advantage of possibly a little bit of a tired Hawaii team and possibly a little bit of an emotionally drained Hawaii team.
Well, Hawaii has not looked all that crisp in different stretches so far through the first set plus here tonight. They trail by 2. And Sickle ends what was a 3-0 St. John's run.
This little crossing pattern there at Van Sickle comes around the setter. Middle attacker goes to the right. What they call a little X play. If you were to draw it out on the board, it'd be an X. Nobody home.
So Noreen Yosia, the lone returning starter for this team, now a senior out of Torrance, California with the jump serve. Middle set, that's Wood. Dug up by Yosia, so Wagner bump sets it to Helvig. Roll shot is down.
Helvig showing that she's got another tool in her toolbox. A little off-speed roll shot.
That's kill number 6 for Hannah Helvig. Rastelli. Return to sender, says the freshman from Sweden. She had a couple of big blocks down the stretch in that match last night against San Diego. Listed at 6'2", but they said by the time she reported for fall practice, she was closer to 6'3". Alexikou unleashing on that set.
Well, she's still growing for sure. She's 6'4" tonight.
Wait till we measure her tomorrow night. Alexikou, by the way, that is her 7th kill of the match. She is 1 kill away from her match total against Washington last night. Igidi laying the smackdown.
Give a lot of credit to Noreen Garcia that time. She saved the ball from going over the net one-handed. Perfect set for Igidi. Good for Igidi to get up there early and quick and have confidence that Noreen Garcia is going to save that ball.
One of the hardest hitters that we've seen in some time in a Rainbow Wahine uniform, Amber Igidi. Outside Alexikou, speaking of hard hitters, was there a touch anywhere along the way? No, it goes long, and that's a point for Hawaii. Joanne Persico arguing her point. May she be considering a challenge? And it appears as though she will challenge it. And so Dixon Chun will take another look at a touch, no touch challenge. Oh, it looks like she's going to challenge in or out on that. So at first it sounded as though she was asking for a touch on that swing, but she is instead going to challenge whether it hit the end line or not.
Now these are easier to pick up on the camera than the touches at the net, for sure.
Well, as long as there's nobody standing in the way, we had a couple of difficult ones last night.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You're right.
And again,
that looked out. I could tell from here. How about you?
You're better than me.
That one is also out.
You are very sure of yourself. How about Efrosini Alexikou? Just a sophomore. The match she's putting together already, regardless of what this ultimately becomes. 7 kills. This would be her 8th if they reverse this. And she had 8 kills the entire match against Washington last night.
Unfortunately, she had 6 errors to go along with it last night, but she's playing much more solid, high percentage volleyball tonight.
Well, Dixon Chun is taking a long look here at this one.
I'm not sure he's going to get a better look than the ones he just saw.
And that's really part of the whole equation is he can only go based on the angles we have. He can only go based on the resolution that's available. And so if it is inconclusive, then that's a call that cannot be overturned. He has to see conclusive evidence. And that is always part of the scenario in these replay reviews. That's the best angle, it seems, and you
ball's out
very quickly said that that was an out ball. So let's see what Dixon Chun says. The call will stand.
You could have saved him 5 minutes. Dixon, just come over here.
Yeah, I mean, you're already wearing the headset.
I saw it.
Well, it goes from what could have been 12-12 had that been reversed to 13-11 in favor of Hawaii here in the second. Rastelli, great save. Rasmussen along the back line. Helvig off the block and down.
Helvig, kill number 7 for the freshman.
Said she had so much fun last night that it was a little nerve-wracking. This was by far the largest crowd she's ever played in front of. Says that back home, she would play in front of 50 or so people, maybe. That was about the amount of fans that were there for the green and white scrimmage a week ago. And so Robin Omo was commenting, yes, some of the freshmen and even some of the veterans were nervous in front of that crowd. She was anxious as far as what the reaction would be in front of a Stan Sheriff Center crowd, but Helvig learned to really enjoy it as the night went on. Pinball action for Hawaii in its return. Oh, and a mishandle on the set by Dumalo. And that's a point for the Rainbow Wahine. They get to 15 first, as they did in the first. Welcome back. Let's check out the First Hawaiian Bank top 3 Hawaii career service aces. And Kim Willoughby, the first Rainbow Wahine player to hail from the state of Louisiana. She is first in that category, but how about Lisa Strand in the number 3 position? Of course, one of 3 in our corner crew, breaking down all of the action in the game on and post-game portions of the broadcast. One of the great ones for sure. And that was a great move for sure. Erica DiMalo pulling that one out from under her sleeve. Hawaii hitting 412 in this second set compared to 200 in the first. Meanwhile, St. John's hitting a $143 prior to that put down, and yet the Red Storm only trailing by a pair here, C-Mac.
Kill number 4 there for DiMalo. Hawaii's got to do something about this, the center dump shot. Last night they were in trouble with Newsom from San Diego. She got away with like 8 kills in 3 sets. And right now DiMalo is starting to do the same thing.
It's Alexa Ku to serve. Bump set outside. Rasmussen with 2 blockers up. Pinball action back and forth. Back bump set from Okino to Rasmussen. Didn't have the angle. Hit the pin. And that's another point for St. John's. Here's Rasmussen. 2 blockers up again. Okino has to go back to Jolie, this time off the net. She's blocked, saves it herself. Wagner 2 hands it across. A good diving save by Alexa Ku. The swing by Wood, dug up by Okino over the net. Hawaii now with it again on their side. Okino high ball set. Rasmussen, the roll shot.
What a rally. Hawaii had their chances, but every time they had their chance, Rasmussen was facing 2 blockers, 4 hands across, just like that. Finally, she decided to use a different shot. Smart idea. You know, over the block and into the donut hole in the back row.
Tightly contested battle so far. We saw 6 ties in set 1. We've already had 8 ties in the second set. Largest lead for Hawaii here in the second was 3. St. John's led by as many as 2. 2 points separate these 2 squads at the moment. Great dig there with Van Sickle. Over the shoulder swing by Wagner. And we got a joust at the net, saved by St. John's. They'll send a free ball across though. Hawaii with the advantage. Westerberg is dug up by Tiziana Bamrukova. But then that swing by Mikhailova goes long.
Hawaii doing a better job of playing defense there, especially on DiMalo.
We have seen some fantastic rallies here tonight. Timeout, St. John's. Bring the stadium experience home with University of Hawaii football on Spectrum Sports pay-per-view. Call 643-2337 to order your 7-game season package today. Just like the Rainbow Wahine, the Rainbow Warrior football team off to a 1-0 start, but Hawaii with its work cut out for it here on night 2 of the Hawaiian Airlines Classic. Down 1-0, but up 3 here in set 2 against St. John's. And Tiffany Westerberg helps to close the door on Alexa Ku. These freshmen for Hawaii wasting no time, just getting in the mix. And that's an ace by Bailey Choi.
St. John's with 1 timeout left. They're going to use it right now.
The crowd appreciating what is a 4-0 Rainbow Wahine run, their largest lead of this second set at 19-14.
You know, they're playing better defense right now. They're serving better. They're blocking better, doing all the little things. And they're not, unlike the first set, fewer unforced errors, basically.
Well, a lot of weapons, obviously, for Hawaii. That has already been documented. But if you had to pick a go-to player so far in this very, very young season, it's Jolie Rasmussen.
No question about it. She's been phenomenal doing what she's asked to do. Sometimes she, the first 3 sets last night, she didn't get set that much. I said, I wonder why she's not getting many sets. And all of a sudden, the floodgates opened up, and she got like every set from the rest of the last 2 sets of the night, and then she came through and got like 9 kills in 2 sets. Pretty amazing.
Comes from a great volleyball family too, right?
Dana and Dana. Easy to remember their names, right?
That's right.
And they met playing volleyball. Isn't that cute?
Dad, Dean, played at UC Santa Barbara and for the U.S. national team. Mom, Deanna, played at Pacific. And yeah, along the way, they just got paired up in a volleyball match league type of thing and hit it off. And fast forward, Jolie Rasmussen is a Rainbow Wahine.
Yeah. The biggest story, though, has been Jolie's injuries, which she's suffered the last 4 years. And she's just so happy to be on the court and healthy.
Hawaii by 5. Wood with the swing over the double block. 2-hand save there, Okino. Here's Rasmussen. Alexikou with the up. Mikelova is dug up. Okino working overtime. Wagner rattled around and down.
A couple of great digs by Rico Okino. Keeping the ball alive, keeping the rally alive. Wagner, a freshman. An unlikely starter with first start. And Bailey, how about Bailey Choi running that ball down, getting her hands on it?
Yeah, that was well done by Choi. 3-year starter at Utah. Got her degree, decided to transfer back home. Forces the overpass. Now goes right side. Rasmussen 2-hands it over. That set wasn't quite on the spot, and so Wood in the middle, dug up by Choi, who also plays tremendous defense. Here's Van Sickle, the roll shot, diving save Sanabia. Choi covers that second touch over. Wagner through the double block. Somehow it's returned. Choi able to save it at the last second. Wagner cross court, dug up by Mikelova. Here's Alexikou into the net, and Hawaii wins a long one.
Bit of an unorthodox rally there where neither side really felt sure of themselves on the swings. And finally, Hawaii wins the rally on an unforced St. John's error.
How about Bailey? That last second reaction looked like it was going to go out and then realized it was going to stay in, and so she lays out to keep the sequence going. Mikelova gets the point back for St. John's.
What a set that time from DeMaulo. Right on the money, on a line. Tough to get the second blocker out there to the pin.
Here's Sanabia. Outside, Rasmussen, the touch. Diving save there by Bamukova. Mikelova is dug up. Middle set goes to Westerberg. Right there is Alexikou. Here's Mikelova, the dink shot. Rattled around, but it will not be returned. We are seeing some great effort on both sides of the twine. Here's Rasmussen, rips into it, but off the block. Saved by Sanabia. Mikelova then plugs it through the proposed double block of Wagner and Westerberg, and that's a 3-0 run for the Johnnies.
I think Robin Armo's going to call a timeout here. She's got 2 left. She can control the situation going down the stretch here.
So a sticky rotation for the Rainbow Wahine, but they still have this 4-point advantage.
You think it wouldn't be sticky with their #1 hitter on the left front right now, but you're right, they're having trouble getting out of this rotation. We'll see what Robin Armo calls for here coming out of the timeout.
UH fans, select your exact seat locations when purchasing individual game tickets at hawaiiathletics.com. Click on the tickets button to print your tickets. Avoid the lines by going online. Had about 5,000 in the building last night, but boy, were they boisterous throughout the evening, and this seems to be a pretty active crowd as well here on night 2 of the Hawaiian Airlines Classic.
Now, last night's 5,000 sounded more like 7. And tonight's crowd has gotten into it as well. They know that one of their main jobs, it's funny how Hawaii crowds are so knowledgeable volleyball-wise. It's almost like they knew coming in they're going to have to make some noise tonight to bring up this basically drained Hawaii team after that emotional victory last night. They knew they were going to have to provide some energy for them, and I think they've done that so far.
Yeah, after that signature win in the tenure of Robin Amo last night against San Diego, tonight been a bit laborious to say the least. Well, they're in position here as they make the final turn in this second set to possibly even things up.
And Rastelli comes back into the game, possibly to hit a D ball out of the back row. You know, she's 6'4". She can hit that back row shot easily.
Good pass there by Okino. Here's Rasmussen. Off the block, saved Sanabia. Good cover. Laying out for that one was Okino. Van Sickle is dug up by Rastelli. Mikeleva again dug up by Okino. Mikeleva, the swing, blocked by Wagner.
Just when you least expect it, the freshman makes a great play. And how about Okino with a great dig? Bailey Choi doing some phenomenal setting.
Well, sometimes it's good to have a libero on the floor, huh?
Yes, exactly. Robin Amo has really pulled all the right plugs to pick the right players.
And there's Okino again, chasing down that second touch. Can she get to this one? Almost. Nice decision there by DeMolo. Hawaii remains up by 4, but the effort is a constant here from both these squads.
Now DeMolo goes to the back row, no longer will be a front row attacker.
How about Rico Okino, who was apparently smiling that entire effort trying to get to that third touch? And Sickle is blocked back. Wagner then sets her up a second time. It's dug up by Mikeleva, who gets the over-the-shoulder swing, catches it fat, sends it long. Point for Hawaii, and they're closing in. And here comes Kyra Hanawahine for the first time.
Oh, what a hero she was last night.
Said it.
Wow.
In the 5th set, had a key dig, had a key ace. Made the most of her opportunity, and here she is. Another one of those transfers from Oregon.
Another great serve.
Rastelli.
Johnny's not done yet. When we got somebody, a 6'4" lefty like that on the right side, they're always going to be dangerous.
Rastelli just a sophomore too, so look out in the Big East here for the next few seasons. Van Sickle, the block hadn't formed, but what a dig by Sanabia. Centered by Alexikou. Mikeleva then tickles the tape, and it was fortuitous.
Robin Amo has one timeout left. Because she's not going to use it quite yet. I guarantee you she'll use it here if St. John's scores, but St. John's does not score.
Mikeleva giveth and then taketh away, right? Her 10th kill, gets to double figures offensively, but then serves it into the twine, and one of those maybe teachable moments.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, aloha ball for the Rainbow Wahine. And a good server to have the volleyball, Maureen Yosia. And that's an ace. Right on cue. And this thing is evens. So the Rainbow Wahine turn it around, taking set 2, 25-20. There might be another long one, C-Man. And And welcome back. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Pretty even.
As you would expect with two teams who have split the first two sets, the stats are pretty even. Kills about even, attempts about even, errors about even. Kill percentage not very good. Offense, neither offense is very sharp. But hitting 200, not a good number. Blocks though at the net. Hawaii continues to block well. Last night they won 15-5 in the blocking war. And then tonight up 6-3. That's a good number for them. So I'm impressed with Hawaii. Hawaii serving for the most part has been pretty tough.
That's right, 4-1 in service aces. They had 5 of those blocks in that second set. So, all right, complete this thought here. If St. John's is to win tonight, what will have happened? If Hawaii is to win tonight, what do you think will have had to happen?
Well, St. John's, I think, is going to have to hit for a higher percentage, make fewer hitting errors. Last night they had 26 hitting errors. Tonight, I believe they got 13. They just can't continue that pace. They got to keep the ball in play and let their block do some work, let the digging do some work, and they got to probably serve tougher as well. And for Hawaii to win, I think they've got to pass better so they can run their, fancy new offense. And I think they've got to serve in at the right times, especially when they're on runs or if St. John's is on a run. They got to make sure they keep the ball in play after timeouts and stuff like that. But I like the way Hawaii played the second set. They played much better defense, and that's what's going to win you some ball games as well.
Anna Helvig and Jolie Rasmussen, each with 7 kills to lead Hawaii. Clara Mikelova has 10 kills, the only player in double figures in that category to lead St. John's. And Ileana Rodriguez, a freshman from New York City, getting ready to serve it up here in a pivotal set 3.
Mikelova hit him for a great number, too. She hit him 400 on the night as an outside hitter. That's tremendous.
Here's Van Sickle. How about the up there by Sanabia? That was brilliant. And then going off the block and out is Rastelli. A reason why Sanabia was the Big East Libero of the Year last year and was an AVCA All-East Region selection. She actually set the St. John's single-season digs record a year ago.
How about digs per set last year? 5.2 digs per set. That's phenomenal.
Here's Helvig from off the net. That was a brilliant save by Rodriguez, but for not. So Hawaii gets the point. Helvig gets her 8th kill.
Helvig is unafraid of a block that's well formed on her. She just goes over or she tools off the side, works the edges of the block. Mostly likes to go high and deep.
Alas, another out serve. That's the 8th service error for the Rainbow Wahine. And those are just momentum killers. It's obvious, it's easy to say. It's never a good time for one of those, but especially when you've been struggling to really assert yourself in a match like this.
And if you're playing against a team who tends to make hitting errors, give them a chance to make a hitting error by serving in. But Brooks really struggling kind of in the corner from the service line. So that's her 4th service error on the night. She's got 50% of the errors for Hawaii. Hawaii's got 8 errors altogether.
How about that swing by Amber Igidi? Her 6th put down. Overpass forced there. And Igidi next to Rasmussen. Able to do the honors. Helvig causing that overpass. Anna Helvig is going to be doing some damage in the Big West Conference and more here over the next few years. Outside, Rasmussen. And that goes off the block and out, barely beyond that sideline.
It's a good thing she hits the ball hard, because had she hit it softer, the ball would have been stuffed.
For serving 2. Backside, Rastelli. The confidence is swelling.
She's a good one. She's fun to watch. Rangy lefty. She can go down the line, can go cross court, she can go high over the block. She's pretty much got all the shots. Very advanced for a sophomore.
Yeah, that's 7 kills now for her. Here's Igidi. That's 7 kills for her. Amber Igidi out of St. Michael the Archangel. It was Angelica Ljungqvist and company who stumbled across video of her, and she was so appealing on tape in terms of her game that Coach Ljungqvist traveled to Memphis to watch her play in a tournament. She said she fell in love with her immediately. There's Bailey Choi with another service error.
Nice service error there. And Igidi's parents, Lena and Anthony, probably will be watching right now from Louisiana. My guess is it's around midnight there, but they don't care. They're going to be proud of their daughter and how well she's playing.
Yeah, she's having a good match for sure. But St. John's right there, trailing by merely a point. Choi, a long way to go for this set. High and away to Rasmussen, who bounces it off of the Terraflex.
What a set from Choi. She had to run deep into the back court and push it all the way up to the front court. Look at that move by her. Put it right where Rasmussen likes it.
9 kills for Jolie. And we have a pause in the action here.
Not sure what this is about.
Hawaii double checking the rotation, perhaps?
It might be how deep the bench can go into the court.
They're a little tight to the action, perhaps. Jousted the net. Here's McKelliva. She delivers again. McKelliva putting on a show. And this is coming off of a performance last night where she hit under 100. 8 kills on 23 swings. That's 11 put downs now for her, and she's showing no signs of slowing down. Slide goes to Westerberg. What do you think about Tiffany Westerberg and the impact she's made in the middle?
Actually, I'm surprised. I thought that Igidi and Sky Williams would pretty much carry the load the whole weekend, and Westerberg would work her way into the lineup. But night number 1, she got in there, and she loved it, played well, and tonight, same thing. She's coming in being the fireman.
Tooling the block that time, McKelliva.
Here's a little fun fact. In practice the other day for St. John's, I was watching, and Milan Zarkovic walks in. Guess what? They have people from 7 different countries. He spoke all of their languages.
I don't doubt that. He's a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Wagner touches it over a triple block, diving save there, Sanabia. And a free chance here for Hawaii. Wagner has to lay out, though, for it. Helvig over the double block. She got under it, but a net violation called against the Red Storm results in another Hawaii point.
Looks like there might be a challenge here.
That is a reviewable play. And there will be a challenge. Coach Persico wants to take a look. You know, you also see back to the camera next to Coach Persico, Associate Head Coach Mario Trebid, who has been part of this staff for 20 years. And it was great to see you interact with him because there was just a lot of volleyball chatter. A guy who's been around the game for so long.
Yeah, I worked with him with the USA national team way back in 1973 in Texas, 74, 75. We worked together, and then his resume is unbelievable. I mean, he's worked with, he got a silver medal with the working with the Netherlands men's team back in the Olympics, and I believe that was '92. He's worked with Israel, Russia, United States. He's been a little bit of everywhere, but he loves his home in St. John's, lives in Queens, I believe, not too far from the campus. And he's 75 years old and still going strong, still plays singles tennis, rallies with the girls. He's one of the arms in practice to hit balls at the girls. And he's an international referee of note.
Yeah, great guy to have around the program for sure, and that's why he's been there for a couple of decades now. Dixon Chun taking a long look at that.
There was no touch.
And that is the call. No touch, so a quality challenge there by Coach Persico. is from Queens, New York. I mean, as mentioned, she is a proud New Yorker. She grew up in the area, attended St. Francis Prep, is part of the St. Francis Prep Hall of Fame, which also includes a couple of individuals like Joe Torre and Vince Lombardi.
Whoa.
Helvig off the double block. Good chase down there, Rastelli. She'll get a swing out of it. Well, that one hits the pin. A couple of subs once again. Taijidi back into the front row. And Noreen Yosia back behind the service line. 8 serving 7 here in the third. Pass tight to the net, one hand set. Van Sickle the block on the swing by Katari. But Rastelli, as has been the case so many times in this match, able to deliver the punctuation mark.
At 6'4", she just goes inside the block. The block was well formed. They knew where the ball was going, but she found a way around it.
Van Sickle cross court and wide, no touch. A point for St. John's.
A rare error from Brooke Van Sickle.
And certainly a much quieter night offensively for Van Sickle as compared to her introduction to the home fans last night. Helvig rattled around and then put down by McKelliver. St. John's is just scrapping right now, and that forces a Hawaii timeout, trailing by 2 in the all-important third set. Well, Raquel Rastelli from Parma, Italy, the 6'4" sophomore southpaw, has been huge here for St. John's, and it seems as though she's been the momentum breaker oftentimes when Hawaii has found itself in the lead or during long rallies. She has been one of the equalizers here for the Johnnies. Helvig is blocked back. Here she is a second time over the double block and down. A little high cheddar there for Efrosini Alexikou. And that's kill number 9 for Hannah Helvig. Well, Hawaii's in a dogfight here. Where the St. John's team, scrappy as they come, out of the Big East Conference. We mentioned preseason pick to finish 3rd in the league. Marquette is the favorite with Creighton, the preseason number 2.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Johnnies finish higher than 3rd, though.
Well, they got 23 wins last year. That was the highest win total since 2007 for this program, as Wagner pulls the string. So they have a little something going over there in Queens, New York. And you mentioned a roster that features 15 players from 7 different countries. And we're talking all around the globe. Colombia, Czech Republic, Germany, Greece, Italy, Serbia, and the United States. But it has been the Italian, Rastelli, who at least in this middle stretch of the match has been the most pertinent.
In the center is another Italian.
There you go.
Dinola. Big East Frosh Player of the Year a couple years ago. All Big East 3 times.
Helvig, the double block was up, dug up nicely by Yoshioka. But a mishandle on the set there by DeMaulo. That's the second time we've seen that in this match, and you just gave her credentials.
Yeah, normally she's a pretty steady setter, doesn't make many mistakes. Very offensive-minded setter. Her location is really good. I watched her practice this weekend. It was really good location. I loved her hands, but tonight, a couple of double touches.
Entered the season 4th on St. John's career assists list. Swing by Alexikou, and we got a net violation on the Hawaii side.
That time the blocking error into the net is Riley Wagner.
See the look at Robin Amo in her 3rd year atop this program. Laying the foundation consolidation of what she referred to as trying to leave her stamp, a revamping of what she thought she needed to do in terms of reshaping the gym culture. And that certainly seemed to be the case. Now she brings in a huge recruiting class of 9 players, 5 freshmen, 4 Division I transfers, with the mix of veteran players that seem to be on board with that. But now it's time to consistently put that all out there on the floor on game night, and right now it is St. John's. It just seems to be more assertive. Efrosinia Lexikou.
She just brings the heat there. She has not hit for great percentage either last night or tonight, but she seems to come up with the big kills at the right time.
That's her 9th kill here in this match. Led the team with 3.5 kills per set a year ago. The crowd imploring the home team. Stem the tide here, trailing by 2. You'll see a backside Wagner, no blockers up. You'll see got them all fooled that time. She set up the freshman.
Great location by Noreen. You'll see at that time. Wagner saw the opening down the line and took it. End blocker late getting out there.
Such an interesting story. Had to do a little bit of everything a season ago. Here she is now splitting time at setter with Bailey Choi, and yet she's about as enthusiastic and, dare I say, happy as we have seen Noreen Yossi really her entire career.
And she's gone from being a 6 rotation player to being a 3 rotation player. She is all about the team.
That's what she said last night. She said, hey, look, I love this system if it means we're winning matches. And last night, that's what it meant. 14 serving 12 after another outserve by Hawaii. Here's Rasmussen into the twine, and it is St. John's getting to 15 first. Largest lead for the Johnnies here in the 3rd. Critical stretch in this match. Helvig from behind the line, block out a piece, but it plops down onto the floor.
Every once in a while it pays to be lucky. That was definitely lucky. The ball's in the air a long time. Johnny should have brought that one up.
Into double digits goes Hannah Helvig for the 2nd straight night. Backside, that's Wood. And Jolie Rasmussen says, ole. Solo stuff.
And she just really stays disciplined on the outside there. Just takes one little shuffle step to the outside, presses the ball back into the court. Well played.
High ball set. This is McKelliva. Good save there by Helvig. Here's Rasmussen again. Diving save by McKelliva this time. And it's slapped over by Lexikou. Here's Hawaii. Middle set. That's Westerberg. Another flush contact by Tiffany Westerberg.
Hawaii's transition offense a little bit smoother now.
Timeout. We're knotted up at 15 here in the 3rd. Get in the game with on-demand highlights of University of Hawaii sporting events. Spectrum subscribers have exclusive access to Spectrum Sports Enhanced, channels 13 and 1013. Well, Hawaii trailed by 3 just moments ago. Out of the timeout, though, we are knotted at 15 in the very crucial 3rd set of this match. And a diving pancake pass there by McKelliva, which winds up a kill for Wood. It's those kind of extra effort type of plays that can sometimes mean the difference between being victorious and finding yourself on the losing end. And that was Klara McKelliva out of the Czech Republic, just making a magnificent play on what is 90% of the time after a serve hits the net like that, usually an ace.
Yeah.
Here's Mansickle. Here's McKelliva on the swing. Two-hand save there, Helvig. Block may have gotten a piece, so a good save for her. Block got a piece on the St. John side as well. Mikelova a second time, blocked back. The cover by Sanabia. Mikelova, the dink, finds the floor. And St. John's up by 2. That is 14 kills now for Mikelova.
Well, I really should have read that dink, because the block is well formed. As their second try at that block. And a lot of times hitters will just back off and hit the soft shot because they weren't successful the first time against the block.
Rasmussen, they had 3 blockers up, did the Johnnies, and it didn't matter.
Now that X-play did not really fool a whole lot of people, did it? They still got away with it.
Kill number 9 for Rasmussen. Enrico Aquino back behind the line to serve. Civil engineering major in this, her redshirt junior season. She is scheduled to graduate. Mikelova blocked back. She'll get a second crack at it. Dug up by Okina, brilliantly done. Helvig, diving save Alexikou on the back line. Mikelova blasted off the block, one-hand save Wagner, bumps at Westerberg to Helvig, who finds the open floor. Are you serious?
There's some pretty crafty volleyball going on there by Helvig. Almost like she had eyes on the side of her head. Saw the opening in the back row. Tapped it down. Got the point.
How about the bump set by Westerberg?
Yeah.
Tied at 17. Oh boy. What a play on several fronts. Van Sickle.
That will bring the crowd to their feet. How about that dig? Look at Okino popping this ball up. The ball only 6 inches off the floor. Hawaii just keeps on playing. Gets a dig. Again, to keep the rally alive, and Van Sickle finishes.
We talked about plays that sometimes determine winning and losing. That was magnificent.
The crowd loved it. It's almost like all 6,000 of them stood up as one and clapped of appreciation for some good volleyball.
And that puts Hawaii up 1. 18 serving 17. Off the net that time. Dostelli couldn't put a good wood onto it, but the pass was off the mark, and so St. John's with the advantage. And guess who? Mikelova.
As usual, she's just like a broken record of getting kills, one after another. That one her 14th, I believe.
Okino with the pass. Here's Westerberg through the block and down. Well, good things have happened when they've gone to Tiffany Westerberg. She'll be subbed out now as Yosia comes in along with Amber Igidi. Out as well goes Bailey Choi. I mean, is this what we're in for all season? We had a 5-set thriller last night. We're going seesaw style here on night 2. Well, 13th ranked Washington awaiting Hawaii tomorrow. Mikelova dug up by Wagner. Yosia goes middle, set too low for Igidi though, and the diving save Sanabia. Here's Rastelli, dug up by Yosia. Helvig tries to touch it off the block, and she does so successfully.
What a bump set from the back row by Wagner. That was a very difficult move.
Hawaii by 2. And a timeout taken by the Johnnies. We'll keep it here. I mean, it has been back and forth action, but a little burst from Hawaii. And again, this has not been a match where you have seen a lack of effort. We are seeing bodies hitting the floor on almost every sequence.
You know, how about Okino digging that ball, keeping it up, and when she popped it up, she only popped it up like maybe 1.5 feet, but there was somebody there low to the ground to pop it up even higher so they could get the ball over on 3, and then to win the rally was amazing, but there are some extraordinary things going on as far as defense is concerned. Hawaii actually being outdug right now by the Johnnies, but Hawaii out-blocking, so they're each taking turns at winning the stat contest. Hawaii winning the front row contest, the Johnnies winning the back row contest. And this match is about as even as it can be.
This third set is still very much up for grabs. Although Hawaii first to the final pole, represented by that 20-point plateau. Good look there at Puna Kaniho, who is the new volunteer coach for the Rainbow Wahine out of Kamehameha, played at Grand Canyon University. He, along with Faith Ma'afala, sort of the new members of this staff.
Both of them doing a terrific job, by the way.
Yeah, the other coaches who've been there, Kaleo Baxter, Angelica Youngquist, Robin Amo, gushing about the job that Faith and Puna have done already so far this season. But it is 20 serving 18. Here's Yosia, hits it long. How many times have we seen that out of a timeout?
And if the other team on the ropes, they called timeout. Hawaii jumped out to the 2-point lead after being down 2.
Lets him off the hook momentarily, though. Here's Helvig, the roll shot. Good save, Alexikou. Rastelli by the double block and down. She has been a puzzle that the Rainbow Wahine have yet to solve.
She's in double digits in kills as well. The lefty just hard to figure out. That time she went between the two blockers.
You'll see a high and away to Helvig, blocked back, but Wagner the cover. And she'll just spank it across. Chance now for St. John's. Alexikou hammers it home. And the Johnnies with 3 straight points to move in front, 21-20 in this third set.
Coach Amo with a 1 timeout left. She's going to use it judiciously.
No timeouts left on St. John's side. Van Sickle shanks that pass, and that's going to be an ace. Make it 4 straight points scored by St. John's, and now Robin Amo is forced to use that final timeout. I mean, Klara Mikhailova has her fingerprints literally all over this match. She has been doing everything for the Red Storm offensively, and here from the service line putting together a key run in a key set of this match.
And she served Brooke Van Sickle at the time, who's one of Hawaii's better passers. So you know that ball that Mikhailova is serving is moving around a lot. It's not an easy serve to pass.
Closer look here at Klara Mikhailova.
That was her parachute shot we saw.
Yeah, even when she hasn't gotten the kind of hit on the set that she would have liked, it still has usually worked out well for her and St. John's. And right now they have the advantage in this third set. And you got to give this team credit. It can be easy to be disheartened after what was also a strong effort against Washington last night. Washington pulling off the sweep, though. But instead of being dejected and sort of wallowing in their sorrow about that, they go up against a Hawaii team that was flying high after a win over a ranked opponent a night ago.
And they're giving Hawaii all they can handle.
And more.
Yeah.
By the way, UW getting another victory earlier against San Diego in the battle of 2 ranked teams. It was a 4-set win for Washington. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. first serve, we'll have game on starting at 4:30 right here.
That could have gone 5 sets easily, 29-27 in the 4th.
It was a great match, very competitive. But it'll be Washington and Hawaii tomorrow. Again, 4:30 start time for game on right here. Aijidi. Oh, they needed that.
And it took a perfect Brooke Van Sickle pass to make that offense work. Aijidi should thank Brooke for that one.
8th kill for Aijidi. Big serve here for Van Sickle. Catches Sanabia high. Alexikou, tough angle, still got it over though. You'll see it goes outside. Helvig! Diving save in the back row by Rodriguez. And then Rastelli is dug up by Yosia. Bump set tight to the net by Wagner. Aijidi pumps it up over the net and then loses the joust to Katariu.
Ball was just being played too tight to the net there the whole time. St. John's had the advantage.
So 23 serving 21, and check it out. It's the local girl, Yoshioka, with the serve. Middle set, Aijidi. It was a little low, so really all she had was the dig shot.
Yep, exactly. She needs to get the ball set high. By the way, if you set her too high, she's got pretty good hang time. She showed that earlier tonight when she had the ball that was set too high. She just hung and waited and then hammered it down.
22 serving 23, Helvig with the serve. Backside, Rastelli.
And she's in a groove right now.
Unstoppable.
Great tempo, nice momentum, good approach. She's giving some good sets as well from Dumalo.
And it is aloha ball for the Johnnies in the third.
And Dumalo comes out and a blocking specialist comes in, Wagner.
From Chauvin, Germany. Led the team in blocks the last 2 seasons. They're getting spot action here so far in 2019. Hawaii needs this. Here's Rasmussen by the double block, dug up over the net. Last second, Helvig makes a play. And so now it's a free ball for St. John's. Bump set Sanabia to Wood. And she gets shut down. Rasmussen getting most of that one, C-Mac.
Once again, Rasmussen showing some great blocking technique, but penetrating over the block, staying steady, not moving her arms around a whole lot. Not sure what's going on right now between
long conversation, Coach Persico and Dixon Chun. Not exactly sure what that was regarding. But it remains aloha ball here for St. John's.
They don't have the setter in. He wouldn't let the setter come back in. I'm not sure that was.
Bailey Choi struggled with the ace a couple of times here today. It's the libero Sanabia who sets up the outside to Alexikou, who finds that end line narrowly to end things in the third. Well, Hawaii facing the exact same scenario they faced last night against San Diego, heading to the fourth, trailing 2 sets to 1. And if they're going to do it, if they're going to improve to 2-0, they're going to have to do so in 5. Well, they got to win the fourth first. That's coming up. Well, it went 5 last night, and Hawaii trailed 2 sets to 1 against San Diego. Just about the same scenario. They trailed 2 sets to 1 here against St. John's. You see the scores have been tight all evening long. And Robin Amo taking her team off of the floor and into the tunnel to talk story between sets 3 and 4. Come and visit our new Spectrum store at Ala Moana, located at street level near Shirakia. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, and Sundays, 10 to 7. Hope to see you soon. Robin's done that at times throughout her head coaching tenure. And that usually means she means business and wants to make sure that the message gets across, to get out of what is more of the hollow, echoing noise surroundings near the playing surface into the tunnel, where the sound is a little bit more muffled and maybe
or it echoes.
Understood.
Or it echoes. They hear it twice. They hear the message twice.
Maybe.
The team, I think, is they're a victim right now of a St. John's team that's really fired up. They have players that didn't play well last night, all of a sudden playing well tonight. So the scouting report is like out the window. And we just found out that St. John's had a libero setting in the last point because they ran out of substitutes. They used all 15 subs in that last set.
So a must-get set 4. And Bailey Choi forces the overpass, but Rasmussen couldn't put it down. Alexikou is dug up by Van Sickle. Great effort there by Rasmussen, but still a free chance here for St. John's. Alexikou again down the line and finds the floor. St. John's doing an incredible job defensively, just keeping it up.
Alexikou with 12 kills now. We've got Mikelova with 15 kills. Rastelli with 11 kills. They have three big bangers have got, and they're in double figures. Hawaii only has one player in double figures, and that's Hannah Helvig.
Hawaii out-blocking and out-acing St. John's. But St. John's out-digging and, at least through the first 3 sets, out-hitting Hawaii from a percentage standpoint.
And Hawaii gets the point there, by the way. They had their setter that time went up and attempted to set a ball, and she was actually almost attacked it. She was a illegal back row attacker.
So Hawaii does, in fact, get that opening point of this 4th set. Wagner with a couple of blockers in front, goes down the line and in. But it's going to be overruled. The line judge called it in. Dan Hiranaka said, that was out. And so he makes the call, and it's St. John's point. That looked in. That looked very much in. Slide goes to Westerberg. Good up there by Rastelli. And a mishandle. 3rd time we've seen that by St. John's setter Di Maulo. So 2 serving 1. Can feel some tension here in the building. Wood was able to just slam dunk that one to the floor. And as we have seen throughout this match, we are creeping along. That 3rd set had 12 ties, which is a pretty insane number.
Yeah, it really is. 2 teams that are very even tonight. Here's Rastelli with that left-handed serve.
Choi goes high and away. Van Sickle able to find that line seam.
And she's overdue to return to her figures of last night. She's going into that shot there, 4 kills, 3 errors, hitting 0.45. And last night, she was pretty much the opposite of that. She hit 4.40 last night.
Here's Okina with the serve. Wood misses the court wide, tried to go hard angle to the near side. Hitting error there gives Hawaii the 4-2 advantage.
Wood hitting 0-0-0 right now, 4 kills, 4 errors. I'd be very surprised if the setter goes back to her.
How much does last night's experience for Hawaii help them or hurt them here in this situation because of the length of that match? As that one is put down by Alexikou.
Well, it'll help them a lot. The tighter the match is, I think the more confident Hawaii should feel. And knowing that they've got the crowd behind them as well. But they've got to start doing some things where they're earning the crowd's enthusiasm and their shots of adrenaline.
Slide goes to Westerberg. Pancake save, no, almost there by Sanabia. But it's a point for Hawaii. What the Rainbow Wahine have not been able to figure out are ways to stop Alexikou and Rastelli right now. But a nifty touch down to the floor there by Westerberg. So here's Yosia, now back behind the line to serve. You saw to start this 4th set, they switched the rotation up. It was Bailey Choi serving first, as opposed to Yosia, which has been the case here in the early going of this season.
Will result in more, just the opposite matchups at the net. So I think Robin Amo is hoping to get some different people blocking the better St. John's attackers.
Sanabia with the serve. Good pass there by Okino. Slide goes to Aijiri, dug up by Sanabia. Back row set, Rastelli. Aijiri got a piece. Another layout effort there by Wagner. But Helvig couldn't get it over, and we are tied again here in the fourth. Sanabia has been something at the libero position for St. John's tonight. Was also a swimmer back in the day. Swam for North Baltimore Aquatic Club, the same club as Michael Phelps. And then delivers the ace right on cue like she knew we were talking about.
What a digger. Five digs per set last year. That's amazing. Tonight, I think she's got 16 digs, so she's averaging about 4 digs per set tonight.
From the back row, it's Wagner. And she ties it up. Sixth kill for the freshman Riley Wagner. 2018 Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year. Was also an Under Armour All-American out of Dublin Kaufman High School. Here's Rastelli, blocked back and roofed. They finally got her, C-Mac. Helvig next to Aijiri.
It's taken pretty much, about 2 hours to figure out Rastelli and get a block on her.
Yeah, tonight's match starting a little late because of the length of that Washington-San Diego match here on night 2 of the Hawaiian Airlines Classic. Overpass. Wagner couldn't put it down, couldn't terminate that one, but Hawaii will get a chance on the free ball. Aijiri. Now that is a termination.
Amber Aijiri did a nice job of avoiding that block. She didn't need to hit the ball real hard. She just needed to place the ball around the block and aim for the floor, obviously.
But that's exactly what you referenced earlier. The high set, the hand time seemed to be there, and she still got enough on it to get her 10th kill.
Exactly. Notice Hawaii serves are going in now too, forcing St. John's to earn the side outs as opposed to getting freebies on Hawaii service errors.
We have a new player in there for St. John's. Jovana Oskovic. Number 28 from Belgrade, Serbia. Another 6'4" opposite. They just seem to be pumping them out in this program. Here's Helvig off the block. Outside set, and that is McKelliver who gets roofed. So they get Rastelli moments ago, and they finally get McKelliver.
Give credit to Amber Aijiri for hustling to the outside, getting out there and closing that block. She was late, but she did get there just in time.
9 serving 6, overpass. Oh, great cover there by Sanabia. Alexikou sends it over. So Okino, back bump set, Helvig, blocked back and roofed. A little vengeance there, and Oskovic was part of it.
You know, she was in club volleyball in Serbia. She once had 47 kills in a match. That's kind of unheard of.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Played in just 5 sets a year ago, but able to make a play here in this spot duty. And now DiMaolo gets ready to serve. 7 serving 9. Hawaii trailing 2 sets to 1 here. Outside, roll shot, Wagner. We got a net violation. That's going to go against Rastelli. She owns up to it. Immediately raising her hand, saying, "My bad." And a point for Hawaii. So here's Helvig. Rastelli down the line. And that one caught Van Sickle upstairs.
Chin music, as you like to say.
13th kill for Raquel Rastelli.
Once again, the thing about Rastelli is that, like I said, she can hit the ball down the line. She can also hit sharp cross court as well. So she's got the wide fan, tough to defend.
Outserved by Mikhailova. Yeah, they call Rastelli Rocky for short. Raquel, they tell us she pronounces her first name. I think she hits just as hard as Rocky.
She's playing like a rock tonight as well.
11 serving 8. Here's Bailey Choi. That one tickled the tape. A layout pass by Alexikou. Free chance here for Hawaii. Can they cash in? Middle set. Westerberg off the block. Diving save Rodriguez. High ball to Alexikou. Off the block and down.
I'd say one of the things that St. John's is doing a nice job of, when they have a broken play and they got a bump set to the outside, their hitters tend to just unload. They're not hitting soft stuff, they're hitting off-speed stuff. They're just taking a chance and going for broke, and it's paid off more often than not.
That's a really good point. I mean, say what you will, hitting error or not, they are swinging confidently, and they'll just deal with the consequences after the fact.
Exactly. There was a rare time they had a tip shot there.
Rasmussen jousted the net, and she went over. Impeded on the St. John side, and so that's a point for the Red Storm, and they're back within one.
Unfortunately, a little too anxious. Come over the net.
Here she is, solo blocker against her. Rodriguez, no, make that Yoshioka the layout save, but only momentarily. And we're seeing defensive specialists rotating in and out here on the St. John side of the net from every which way.
That's why we saw them run out of substitutes.
That's right. Yoshioka, Rodriguez, Sanabia, the libero. Outside, Alexikou. And the block is just not forming on a consistent basis for Hawaii. And I think part of that is just the guessing game, because you got Rastelli, who's been so effective on one pin, Alexikou and or Mikhailova, who's been so effective on the other.
Tough job for Hawaii's middle blockers. Which way do they lean?
Van Sickle, blocked and roofed. DeMaulo getting her hands on it. And we're tied at 12, C-Mac.
Looks like Van Sickle's going to get substituted out. And Kirsten Sibley's going to come in.
So our first look at Kirsten Sibley, the 6'2 senior, who had a great fall practice. In at the outside hitter position. The slide goes to Westerberg off the block. Freebie for Rasmussen, couldn't put it down though. Here she is on the right side. That time she does. Just explodes onto that set. And Hawaii up 1. 12th kill for Jolie Rasmussen. Stepped it up when she needed to most last night in sets 4 and 5. Can she do it again here tonight? Alexikou. Somehow it's returned. Are you kidding me? And then a free ball sent Hawaii's way. Here's Sibley. Dug up by Rastelli. She'll get the set from behind the 10-foot line. Blocked back by Helvig. Here she is again. Rastelli blocked back by Helvig and roofed.
But both sides' blocks are really coming together. And how about the coverage on both sides? This back row players coming up and covering their hitters. That time did not work, but the other times it did during that rally. A lot of good coverage.
14 serving 12. And once again, the service error rears its ugly head. And back into the match comes the very dangerous Clara Mikhailova. Alexikou to serve. Back row set, Rasmussen. And it's sent back. Kaylee Wood in the thick of things. And we're tied at 14. Out serve, though, gives Hawaii the point, and they get to 15 first. Oh, the anxiety in the building in set 4. Welcome back. Well, we had a thriller on opening night, and we have one that has just had so many incremental twists and turns. Has gone back and forth. Hawaii trailing 2-1 here on night 2 of this young 2019 season. But in front 15-14. Joanne Persico, 2-time Big East Coach of the Year, including last season.
Yeah, the staff of the year last year voted. How about that?
Right. 3 Big East regular season titles, 1 Big East tournament title in her tenure.
Offenses on both sides struggling here in this 4th set.
Wood blocked back by Igidi and then sends it over. Yosia goes back row to Rasmussen. Diving save in the back row by Alexikou, and then it is Rastelli diving save Wagner. Sibley! Kirsten Sibley.
You gotta feel happy for Kirsten. She's worked so hard in the off season and then in the fall practices, and getting her chance. Didn't play last night, but getting her chance tonight and making the most of it. But the offenses for both sides. St. John's hitting 100 in this game. Hawaii hitting 136. That's not very good. Defenses are having their way.
Oh, pulling a fast one. There's DeMaulo.
She's a cagey setter, isn't she? Helbig will learn. It'll take some time, but she will learn how to defend that back dump shot.
Helbig has to retrieve that second touch. Rasmussen 2-hands it over. Advantage St. John's. And there she was again. DeMaulo thinking very offensively. And it's tied once more for the 7th time in this 4th stanza.
It's the 7th put down for DeMaulo.
Oh, and that's a shank and an ace. And that is St. John's first lead of the set. Hawaii led by as many as 3 back when it was 11-8. But right now it is 17 serving 16. Hawaii against the ropes once more. Pass by Okino is right there. Backside, Sibley tried to touch it over, got blocked. So cross-court bump set by Yosia, and it's a free chance for the Johnnies. Alexikou, blocked. No, it didn't get above the tape. And so that's a point for Hawaii when they needed it most. And a missed opportunity this time on the St. John's side of the net.
Well, they had their chance to jump into the, or extend the lead.
Left-handed over by Alexikou. Here's Helbig. Dug up over the net. Retrieved by Okino. Backside. Wagner, the dink. Finds the floor. And Hawaii leapfrogs back in front. 8 kills for Riley Wagner. And trying to signal for a timeout was Joanne Persico, but it came after the whistle, so she wasn't awarded it. The swing by Mikhailova goes long, no touch, point for Hawaii. And now Persico will take that previously attempted timeout. Will take one as well. Hawaii up 2 in the 4th. Welcome back. Time now for the Akamai Roofing Report. Hawaii with 11 team blocks in this match. They had 15 last night against San Diego. How effective have you perceived the block to be tonight for Hawaii, C-Mac?
I think it's been pretty good, but they're facing a team that's taken a lot of chances. They're going to sort out after timeout, and not in Hawaii's best interest. But their block, I think, has just gotten better from last season to this season. It's definitely improved. 15 blocks last night was stupendous. Tonight's 11 blocks could have been better, I think, had they been more well-formed and had this team a little bit better scouted. But this other team, St. John's, is doing so many things that were off the scouting report.
Helvig off the block and down. 20 serving 18. So again, Hawaii first to that final pole. Helvig with 13 kills. That matches her output from night one. Rastelli blocked. The cover there by the setter DiMauro. Rastelli a second time blocked, but it goes out. It was Igidi next to Rasmussen.
That's been a pretty good block for Hawaii over both nights, those two together.
Lucia high and away. Rasmussen, 2 blockers up. She'll get a second crack at it. And this time makes it count. Good set on the bump by Rico Okino.
Oh, that was a beautiful back bump set there by Okino. Rasmussen only had the sharp angle and she took it. It's not an easy shot, by the way. Get the ball inside the 3-meter line like that.
The thin slice.
Oh, wrist away, slicer-rama.
So 21 serving 19. Hawaii looking to push this to a 5th. Pass tight to the net. Middle set, that's Wagner, can't get it down. Another back bump set. Rasmussen off the fingertips of the block, saved by Sanabia. Here's Alexaku. Denied. Westerberg in on the fun.
Looks like St. John's is going to take a timeout and talk about that block right there. Forehands across, Manoa Roofing Company in the house.
We were just talking about the block and its effectiveness, and that was quite an opportune time for it to show itself. Westerberg with the denial. You see the blocking numbers 12-6 now in favor of the Rainbow Wahine.
You know who was all smiles last night after the game? Angelica Ljungqvist, the blocking coach. She loved those 15 blocks.
Well, don't forget, tomorrow we have Hawaii taking on another nationally ranked opponent. That's going to be number 13, Washington. We go on the air with Game On at 4:30 right here, so check it out. Next week, we got another tournament for you, the Rainbow Wahine Invitational. We got Army, Sacramento State, and Denver as part of that tournament. It will be Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. And then that's sort of wrapped around what is going to be a big game for the Rainbow Warrior football team, taking on Oregon State live on Spectrum Sports pay-per-view. Game On going on at 5:15 with kickoff at 6. Can Hawaii do it again against another Pac-12 opponent? A dramatic victory over Arizona last week. They have the bye this week, so they were just chilling watching all of the college football action the last few days. So they'll be back at Aloha Stadium against Oregon State. Oregon State getting off to an 0-1 start, falling to Oklahoma State last night.
I'm sure the players and staff watched that game, don't you think?
I would say so. But it is a fun time of year. It's good to be back in the swing of things here on Spectrum Sports. And we've had another doozy of a match here on night 2. 22 serving 19. Here's Choi. Gets it over, diving past Sanabia.
Great serve.
Alexaku into the twine. Hawaii now with a little bit of breathing room at 23-19. The largest lead of this 4th set for the Wahine.
I think Robin Amo just told Bailey Choi, hey, not so close to the net cable. How about a little bit higher? That was too high.
Too high. Like you said, you can't really say much to the servers. It's just too much of a fine line, right?
It really is. Amo has 2 timeouts left, and St. John's has none.
That was the 4th service error for Choi, by the way. And here she is now setting up Rasmussen off the block and down. She came so swooping in. it's aloha ball for Hawaii in this fourth set. Can they push it to a fifth for the second consecutive evening? Wagner the serve. Backside, Rastelli. When in doubt, they have looked the way of the 6'4" sophomore on the opposite side.
And she has become their go-to player for sure. Especially when Alexco hits one long out, hits one into the net. For sure, the next ball is going to go to Rastelli. Hawaii really should have had 2 blockers up there.
Still aloha ball. Middle set, Westerberg paintbrushed it, so chance here for St. John's. Punched over and down by DeMaulo. And Robin Amo is going to take a timeout.
Such a crafty setter. She just knows where the open court is. That was actually for her kill number 8 on the night with 1 error. She's hitting like 400 on the night as a setter.
Well, no matter what happens here for Hawaii, if they're able to push this to a fifth or not, you have Washington sitting there having played thus far a total of 7 sets, the early match both nights, and so they will be by far the fresher team when they get on the Terraflex against Hawaii tomorrow evening. I mean, that's neither here nor there. That's not even on the radar right now for this Rainbow Wahine squad, but that certainly will be part of the story tomorrow.
Absolutely. And actually, I talked to the trainer for University of Hawaii, Renee
Shigemura.
And she said that they're doing all they can to get these girls to be fresh. There's Renee right there. Does a terrific job. And she's trying to get them doing the compression things. They pump up and get the blood clots moving around. And we got they're doing ice baths and all that stuff and rolling out on the rollers. So they're doing everything they can to have every girl fresh every night. But I'll tell you, it's not easy when you're playing to play back-to-back 5-gamers.
Rastelli has not missed a serve in this match. Puts it right in the middle of the floor. Backside, Rasmussen gets it down. And guess what? For the second straight night, we're going to a 5th set. I mean, maybe this is just the norm. Hawaii evens things up, 2 sets apiece. Can they do it again? The decisive 5th set next. Well, welcome back. Stick around for the Heineken postgame show coming up right after the match, as the corner crew will break down all of tonight's highlights and stats. Tell you what, Scott, Lisa, Dave, putting in some late nights here in the early going of this season.
Yeah, they really are.
Went 5 last night against San Diego. And a reminder, in the previous 2 years, Hawaii lost 10 5-set matches. And so last night had to feel good, not just because it was a breakthrough match against a ranked opponent out of conference, not just because it was a season opening win for Hawaii for the first time since 2015, but it was a 5-set win, and a gritty one at that. Do they have enough left here tonight to make it happen again is the question.
That's a great question, Kano, and I really believe that Hawaii does have enough. And I think the crowd's going to make a difference here in the 5th set, like they did last night. If they're feeling tired at all, their legs are tired, their arms are tired, I believe this crowd will re-adrenalize them and get them feeling like they can push through any kind of pain they might have or tiredness. Let's see what kind of lineup Robin goes with.
Hawaii hitting .255 for the match versus .224 for St. John's. Out-blocking the Johnnies 12-6. But St. John's
out-digging Hawaii, 59-47. How about that?
12 dig advantage over Hawaii, in fact. Noreen Yosia with another double-double performance. That's just pretty much standard for her. 10 digs to go along with the 23 assists. How about the 18 digs on the other side for Amanda Sanabia? Not to mention 14 digs to go along with 14 kills for Efrosini Alexakou.
Looks like Robin Amo is going to go with Kirsten Sibley in place of Ben Sickle here for this 5th set.
And also has Rico Okino out on the floor.
Stabilize the passing pattern. Good move, I like that.
Well,
I like starting front left with Rasmussen, Hawaii's most prolific attacker. She's there to get the first swing.
Well, the fans have gotten their money's worth and then some here the first 2 nights of this young season.
They won the toss, chose to receive.
5th set underway. One hand set to Westerberg. She just taps it over. And then the swing on the second touch there by DeMaulo. And she puts it down. Just continues to make plays.
That first pass just a little bit too tight to the net.
So 1 serving 0. St. John strikes first. Choi is outside to Rasmussen off the block. Another dig there, Sanabia. That's 19 for her. Mikhailova is dug up by Okino, and then Westerberg puts the finishing touches on it.
What a heady play by Westerberg there. Ball tight to the net. Had she tried to set it or block it, she wouldn't have been successful. But the only place she had really there was a little push dink over the net.
And to avoid committing a net violation was also something.
Exactly.
1 serving 1. Here's Wagner. From off the net, Mikhailova dug up by Wagner. Middle set, Westerberg. Heavy-handed, but Sanabia with the save. The block was there on the DeMaulo second touch dump shot. But it's going to be a point for St. John's. A lift call against Hawaii. Another Mikhailova put down.
Mikhailova's last 2 swings, though, not like the ones we've seen over the last half hour. She might be slowing down just a little.
And fatigue, you wonder. A factor perhaps on both sides of the net. Sibley with the swing. That's dug up by Alexakou. Mikhailova, that one touched the tape and went down for a St. John's point. It is 3 serving 1. Every point so crucial in a decisive 5th set.
Notice Sanabia picking on the fresh player, Sibley, testing her out, see if she can pass.
Pass by Helvig. Right side, Rasmussen with definity. 15 kills for Jolie Rasmussen. Last night in set 5, it was Jolie time. Will Hawaii go to her often again here tonight in the 5th? She is on the bench at the moment as Rico Okino comes in to serve. 2 serving 3. And it's an ace! Players are urging head coach Joanne Persico to challenge the in-out call, but from our angle, we're pretty close to the same angle as the St. John's coaching staff. It looked in.
It looked good, you're right.
3 serving 3. Mikhailova blocks back. Good save there, Sanabia. And then nobody there to clear that 3rd touch until Sanabia comes in at the last moment. Good save there by Okino, and then bodies colliding, so chance here for St. John's. A net violation called against Helvig. Gives the Johnnies the point.
A lot of confusion on that point on both sides. Each team giving each other free balls, soft hits like that, ball not coming up. Not very good-looking volleyball.
It has been at times. It has been at times sloppy this evening for both teams. Here's Helvig, blocked back, 1-up. Helvig a second time the roll shot. This time a net violation called against St. John's. So we're tied at
4. Katario knew that she hit the net right there. As she came down, caught the bottom of the net. She's talking to herself. In Greek, I'm sure.
This has been a grinded out type of affair. You'll see it with the serve. Rastelli blocked in row. Hanna Helvig says, oh, no, you don't.
Helvig does a nice job of staying on that antenna, not letting Rastelli hit the ball down the line like she has the last 3 times.
Middle set. Atariu got dug up, but Hawaii unable to forge a return. And so a point for St. John's. We're tied at 5.
2 sets apiece, 5-all. Does it get any tighter than this?
I mean, it's been this kind of match all night.
Yeah.
Just slogging along here between 2 teams that have been playing on the same plane of competition.
37 ties tonight. How about that?
That is incredible. McKelliver to serve. Pass by Sibley. Yosia goes high and away. Here's Helvig, blocked back, covered by Yosia. So Okino with the bump set. Off the net though to Helvig. And a chance here for the Johnnies. Cross-court bump set, Alexa Koo. Pancake saved by Yosia. Sibley the swing, it's in and down. The entire St. John's coaching staff up off the bench to argue the call.
I thought it was down as well. See if it gets challenged.
Coach Persico will go to the challenge card. And from that angle, it looks like it touches the floor.
Yeah, it definitely touched the floor. And you get an extra challenge card in the 5th set. So for plays like that, basically. Ball hits the ground first, and then her hand sneaks under it.
The spatula didn't quite get underneath the volleyball that time.
Yeah.
Close. Good effort. But an easy review for Dixon Chun, already off with the headset. And he reverses the call. I mean, the entire coaching staff was up in the grill of Dixon Chun after that one.
They could have got a yellow card there,
Very
easily.
6 serving 5. Hawaii needs this. Haijiri, the set a little too high. Good chase down there by Wagner. Right side, Sibley. And a net violation against St. John's. We're tied yet again. Are you not entertained? Middle set, and that is Katariu who sends it long. And a point for Hawaii, they're up 7-6.
Both coaching staffs up the bench yelling instructions on every single play.
Rastelli just annihilates it.
This is an easy instruction, just back set to Rastelli.
Yeah. Let's keep calling that play if you're St. John's.
She's right front now, about ready to rotate to the back. That's good news for Hawaii, bad news for St. John's.
Right through that block. You saw it, the double block up, she split the uprights. Yoshioka the serve, and it's an ace. That was Kirsten Sibley on serve receive. And it's St. John's getting to 8 first. Well, if Hawaii comes up short here, as the teams will swap ends, they will have all kinds of moments to point to. Unforced errors, self-inflicted wounds, certainly service errors will be part of the conversation. It has not been a clean match for the Rainbow Wahine, but they're still in it here in the 5th. Welcome back. It has been a marathon. It has also been yet another anxiety-ridden match here for the Rainbow Wahine, but they lead by 1 in the 5th. One-hand set results in a free chance for Hawaii, and in fact, the pass was outside the antenna, so that is a point for the Rainbow Wahine. They lead by 2, 10-8 here in the decisive 5th.
Great serve by Helvig. That started everything. Helvig serve. Another good serve. Almost an ace.
Out of system once more. Alexaku is blocked. Head roof. Igidi up next to Wagner. And that is 4 straight points for the Rainbow Wahine. Timeout, Red Storm.
Very disciplined block. You see how Rasmussen moved in tight next to Igidi? Or no, that wasn't Rasmussen.
Wagner.
No, it was Wagner made the nice move. Freshman made that move? Are you kidding me? Another great freshman move? Behaving like a senior?
The poise that this crop of freshmen has shown. And again, we have yet to see Braylon Akana, who has not yet suited up here this season, dealing with an ailment not medically cleared the first 2 nights. But otherwise, this group of freshmen, as you take a look at Braylon out of Kamehameha Kapalama, this group of freshmen has just looked so comfortable in a very short period of time.
You'd never guess that they were freshmen. They're not making freshman mistakes. They're just playing with such maturity and poise in the face of all this tension and anxiety. I get the feeling we're more nervous, the crowd's more nervous than these freshmen are.
Did you see Tiffany Westerberg there talking to Braylon Akana? She was laughing and smiling like all this that's going around. All of the fans are on the edge of their seat and they're just like, this is cool.
Yeah. Good serve here after a timeout.
That has been a bugaboo for Hawaii at times in this match. Out serves, out of timeouts. That time Helvig gets it in. Rastelli sends it long, but there was a touch. And a point for St. John's. Quieted the crowd immediately. 16 kills for Raquel Rastelli.
She's been really good, but you know what? She's in the back row now. Hawaii's at 11. I don't think Rastelli will get back to the front row.
A good server. You'll see her. Goes back row to Helvig, off the triple block, diving save Rodriguez. Outside Alexaku, the dink, and somehow Okino gets it over. Igidi with a freebie. That's 11 kills now for Amber Igidi. And more discussion between Joanne Persico and Dixon Chana. And I think they're going to challenge a net violation against Igidi. And the player who was most impassioned in claiming there was a net violation was the libero, Amanda Sanabia.
Well, she was close to the play, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, good call.
That's going to be an easy review. And
Easy review, yep.
Dixon Chana already taking the headset off. And so it goes from 12-9 advantage Hawaii to 11-10. And that is a completely different story here in a race to 15. And another missed opportunity for the Rainbow Wahine. That was a chippy.
Yep. Here comes the crowd getting into it.
And again, Rastelli, who has not missed a serve, has been so consistent, forcing Hawaii to make a play. Pass Helvig. Right side, Wagner off of 1 foot, 2-hand save Sanabia. Rastelli from the back row, 2-hand save Yosia. So bump set. Wagner didn't get it above the tape, and we're tied at 11. And Robin Amo will use one of her last 2 timeouts. 3 straight points ripped off by St. John's. So just when you thought Hawaii had gotten over a little bit of that hump in that 5th set, right? It happens rapid fire. All of a sudden, this is very much once again in doubt.
Both sides offensively really struggling to hit for a good percentage. It's almost like a survival of the fittest. Who can survive the next rally? St. John's hitting 216 on the night, Hawaii hitting 266. Those are not impressive numbers at all. I'm sure both coaches would love to see those numbers higher, closer to the 300 mark. Way too many hitting errors, although Hawaii in the 5th set, 6 kills, only 1 error. St. John's 5 kills, 3 errors in this 5th set.
Hawaii hoping to improve to 2-0. St. John's, you know, anytime a team comes all the way out here, especially if you're coming from Queens, New York, obviously this is a trip that offers so much in terms of the overall experience. But I imagine the desire to get at least 1 victory on this long of an excursion, it is something that fires up the crew. And so that's why you see Joanne Persico just absolutely enthusiastic and very much involved in these huddles.
She's enthusiastic anyway in general in life, but put her on the volleyball court, an 11-all game in the 5th, she's coaching them up for sure.
They want this. Pass Okino. Back row Helvig, 3 blockers up. It doesn't matter.
What a choice set selection by Noreen Yosia.
That took some guts.
It did. Setting the freshman back row attacker with 3 blockers up. She finds a way around that block. You're gonna be kidding me.
16 kills for Hannah Helvig. And so Bailey Choi. As the crowd quiets. Outside, Alexico blocked and roofed.
I think Westerberg got most of that one, but well set by Wagner on the outside. Oh, I think they might have both got a piece of it.
The Rainbow Wahine wall was up, and it is 13 serving 11. Slide, and that's roofed. Rasmussen.
Oh, she is so good at those tight sets, being able to push it back over, penetrate, not get tooled, read the attacker's arm swing.
She did it all by herself. 5th block for Jolie Rasmussen, and they rise here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Aloha ball for the match.
That's your ultimate block solo, because she really was all alone.
Can Hawaii do it again for a 2nd straight evening? Overpass. Oh, but another great improvisation by DeMaulo.
And Robin Amo had just told Okino, go there for the back dump. Okino was there, but just could not handle it.
That is the 11th kill for the setter, DeMaulo.
Amazing.
But it remains Aloha ball. The serve by Alexico into the net. And that's how it ends. Hawaii wins a 5-set thriller for the 2nd straight night.
I'm shocked. I did not think it would end that way.
Well, it wasn't always the most aesthetically pleasing. But in the end, 2-0 sounds oh so sweet. A hard-earned victory. Hawaii comes from behind again, down 2-1. Well, last night it was against San Diego. Tonight it was against St. John's. 10 total sets played for Hawaii to improve to 2-0 on the season.
A really gutsy performance by both teams tonight. You gotta love the way St. John's came back after being beaten by a very good Washington team last night, coming back and really playing with a lot of fire in tonight's match. And then Hawaii, going to give them a lot of credit for hanging in there. Down 2-1. The in and coming back, they push it to 5. That takes a lot of nerve, a lot of courage. As Dave showed you said last night, a lot of heart this team has.
They have shown heart, they have shown grit, and when it has mattered the most, they have shown poise. And that is a huge reason why Hawaii is off to a 2-0 start in the 2019 season. Scott Robbs is with Robin Amo.
All right, thanks a lot, Kanoa. Well, Coach, I'm assuming the game plan going into this weekend was let's drop 2 of the first 3 sets and then win in 5, because if it was, you guys have executed your game plan flawlessly.
I don't know, the last 2 years plus this year, I told them, I'm like, oh, you guys always like playing 5 sets all the time. Well, I guess it is. One day maybe they'll break the tradition. I don't know.
You know, we talk so much about all the new players, but I really thought the freshmen tonight, they really stepped up for you guys.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what to say for tonight. You know, it's obviously a different game from last night. We did blocking well. Tonight was like, oh my God, we can't. You know, they weren't following. We're supposed to take line. They're like hammering our line defensive players. They didn't really execute the game plan today, but I take the W.
Yeah, you'll take the W any time, and maybe part of that is just because you have such a new team. Do you think that kind of factors in the way things have been so far?
I think maybe if they get out of their game, they got to just learn how to get back in and not take so long to get back in. Maybe, I don't know.
All right, Coach, congratulations. We'll go another 5 tomorrow night, I guess, huh?
No.
Okay.
We're just gonna hope for a good game tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Guys, back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. We had some incredible individual performances on both sides, but Amanda Sanabia, 22 digs. Yes, that is why she is the reigning Big East Libero of the Year. And Hannah Helvig, 16 kills, 5 blocks, 8 digs. Well, this Rainbow Wahine squad has been living dangerously here in the early part of this season, but they are off to a 2-0 start, C-Mac, so I'll give you the last thought here as to what you saw transpire here on night 2.
Well, I agree with Robin. This was not a pretty win in any way, shape, or form. A lot of missed assignments, a lot of, especially when Robin was saying, for example, she was saying, well, let's take line, and they didn't take a line, and the line digger didn't dig it, and there's all sorts of things that happen like that I think she's not happy with. I saw a lot of mishaps as well, but you know what? One thing you can't take away from this team is their heart and their courage and their grit and their ability to come back, their ability to not give up. And how about this audience? The crowd, they just inject adrenaline into this team. The team accepts it, and they seem to really love playing in this Stan Sheriff Center. But above all, I'm really impressed with the freshmen. The way they played both nights, all of them, they played like they were seniors, and that was fun to watch.
Well, we showed you Helvig's numbers. Jolie Rasmussen, 19 kills last night, had 16 in this one. And how about another freshman, you alluded to it, Amber Igidi, 10 kills, 8 block assists here this evening.
And she hit 500 as well.
Yeah, not too shabby. So in the end, when the dust clears, another 5-set marathon, Hawaii victorious. What will they have left tomorrow when they take on 13th ranked Washington? That will be the question, and we'll see. Again, earlier start time, 4:30 with Game On. Don't forget about the post-game show. For Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until then, aloha from the SSC.
Let's check out highlights. Hawaii and St. John's first. We start off for the Johnnies. Mikulova with 17 kills on the night as she paced the Red Storm offensively. But Rastelli, she was not too shabby herself. 16 kills, a couple of blocks, hit 270 on the night for St. John's. On the Hawaii side, the freshmen have been very big, impactful players so far. Amber Igidi, 10 kills for Hawaii and really good at the net with 8 blocks. Another freshman, Hannah Helvig, out of Sweden, gets the roll over the double block and gets it to drop 15 kills, 308 hitting percentage for her, that time from the back row. puts it down on the Paraflex. And for the second night in a row, leading Hawaii in the kills category, the Oregon transfer Jolie Rasmussen with 16 kills. Struggled at times tonight, but picked it up when needed. As she has those 16 kills, hits 250. There's the cross-court shot from the right side for the junior. As Hawaii, for the second consecutive night, goes 5 and wins it over St. John's.
From Spectrum Sports, it's the Heineken Post-Game Show.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. It is the Heineken Post-Game Show. You see the scores right there for the second consecutive night. To open up the 19 season, Hawaii drops 2 of the first 3 sets, only to come back and win 4 and 5 and get the W. Guys, I'm Scott, Lisa, and the coach. Guys, what did you take away from tonight? Because it was a different feeling match than an evening ago.
Well, very uneven night. And I kind of predict that because they had such an emotional game last night, and tonight was just going to be hard to get back up, and it's hard to get back up for 2 straight games. They're going to have to get back up tomorrow night, but tonight was just really uneven. They didn't have their legs, is what I thought, and especially Jolie, except she came back and played really strong at the end.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of inconsistent volleyball, some unforced errors, but I don't think that they expected that much out of St. John's. And St. John's really put up a nice fight. They changed their lineups around a little bit to match up better with them. But I thought it was more kind of like the weather report. You got this one report and you kind of didn't really know if it was truly going to happen. So that's kind of how it went back and forth. And thank goodness they showed a lot of character again tonight, getting the W in 5.
And we've talked about it. I mentioned it to Robin, the freshman. I mean, the freshmen really have stepped up. Riley Wagner, I thought, was good tonight. I thought Hannah Helvig was outstanding. I mean, she's going to be something special, I believe.
I thought Riley played really steady. She doesn't have the great numbers, but she just steadies the team out. She passes well, and she was hung in there. And Hannah played great as usual.
And the 2 middle blocker freshmen also contributed extremely well. They're playing very experienced volleyball at the net, driving hard in the middle. And Hawaii, again, having a great blocking night with 16 blocks.
And it was another match like an evening ago where it seemed like everybody contributed. Kirsten Sibley saw her first action and did some nice things when she was out there.
I'm really happy for Kirsten. She's worked hard. She hasn't played much in her 4 years, but she's such a great kid and works very, very hard. I just got rewarded tonight by Robin putting her in a crucial spot. Got some kills, got a nice serve in, and contributed, which is really neat for her.
Tiffany Westerberg, another one of the freshmen, the middle out of British Columbia, Canada. Again, like last night, came off the bench and produced when needed.
She did. She has that great step out there you see on the instant replay. But not only that, she's got a great attitude. She celebrates the team with the team, and she seems to have a lot of confidence. She's moving the ball around well. She does some nice things moving off of the net and finding the ball. She also hands a couple balls that usually when middle blockers go up with their hands, everybody in the gym goes, no, 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 but she did a great job.
Well, she has a lot of volleyball IQ. I mean, if you watch her, she makes the little plays. And, for a freshman middle blocker, usually they don't make those kind of plays, but she does. And if you watch her, she'll come up with some unbelievable stuff.
All right, Dave, you were always, I thought, the mastermind when it came to in-game adjustments. Nobody did it better than you. After that third set, Robin took the team into the tunnel and motivated them. But she also made a little change. She switched things around, particularly with the servers and Choi. And you'll see her to start that set. Explain maybe what you saw and what she was trying to do.
Well, what she was trying to do is find some consistency on passing. And so Jolie was struggling, Brooke was struggling, and so she brought in Rika. And Rika did a nice job passing and just kind of turned the match around. And, we talked about not playing the libero. Well, we played the libero tonight, and she was very, very steady, and she steadied the team. I made some great digs as well.
Did you think that was really the difference towards the end, making those little subtle changes?
Well, I think so. I mean, that was one of the big changes. It wasn't real subtle, but, and she could go in. It wouldn't count as a sub, and she could go in for more than one player, which was really kind of neat.
All right, after this marathon, let's take a look at the final numbers. They are brought to you by Levitt, Yamani, and Soldner. Not as sparkling, not as pretty as a night ago, but Hawaii got the job done. And again, the blocking. Last night, 15 blocks. Tonight, 16 for UH.
And one of the things that stands out to me is
St. John's, their defense was pretty spectacular, 67 digs. It's not often that you find a team that comes into the Stan Sheriff that Hawaii doesn't out-dig them. Hawaii known for their defense, but let's remember that blocking is actually considered defense as well.
So Hawaii wins it in 5. They go to 2-0 to start 2019. We'll take a timeout. Come back. We'll have more from the corner on the floor of the Sheriff Center.
Welcome back to the Heineken Post-Game Show.
And welcome back down on the floor of the Stan Sheriff Center. Let's take a look at some highlights of Hanna Helvig, the freshman out of Sweden, getting the block right there. And Hanna joins us here in the corner. And welcome to the first time here in the corner. And congratulations. We've only seen you for 2 nights, but we're really impressed.
Thank you so much.
What's it been like for you to be out there? I know you played really high-level volleyball in Sweden, but what was the feeling coming to Hawaii? What do you think about this place?
It's completely different, honestly. I mean, the level it's very high, and also like the mentality, the American mentality, is so different from the Swedish one. So
can you explain that to us?
Yeah, I need to know.
What do you mean by that?
Be more specific.
Oh, okay. So in Sweden, we're kind of reserved, quiet, and here it's not the same at all. And so that shows on court too. We don't talk as much as we do here on court. We're not screaming when we win the balls and everything, So it's super different, but this is better.
So, are you getting used to that? I mean, are you talking more now? I think when I saw you practice, you were very, very quiet and very reserved, but
yeah,
are you into that now, or do you like that, or what?
Yeah, definitely. I knew that I had to get better. I always knew, and the coaches, they told me every minute almost that I had to talk. And it's not that I can't do it, it's just I'm not used to it. But now in here, it's so loud, so I have to. And yeah, so that's kind of forced it out of me.
So Coach Angelica, you knew her from back in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And how difficult was it for her to convince you to come all the way to another island? We hear that you're from an island in Sweden.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that hard.
Had you been here before?
No, I actually never been in the States before. No, so only in Europe.
Had you heard of Hawaii?
Yeah,
okay.
I've heard of Hawaii. But it's like I saw it as a place where people went on vacation. That's it, But yeah, no, she talked to me in my first year of high school back in Sweden, and I was super stoked to come here. I was super nervous too. It's so different, and I was hesitating, but I always knew that I have to come here. I can't miss this opportunity, So
I want to know, when Angelica talks to you, is it in English or Swedish?
Swedish, yeah.
Because I heard her talk to you in English.
Yeah, we do when we're practicing or on court during games, but otherwise we speak Swedish, yeah.
Talk about tonight, because last night was such an emotional roller coaster, and you guys came away with a win over a ranked team, and then you had to come back tonight. It goes 5 again. What was the turnabout, and were you guys maybe a little down tonight when it started? Were you guys a little bit kind of worn out? How would you explain it?
Yeah, it all comes down to the mindset and the mental part. But yeah, we were tired. Of course, we played yesterday 5 sets, so it's not, of course we're tired. But that's something we just have to turn around, and we have to work on that. So yeah, but we're coming back stronger tomorrow, definitely, yeah.
Well, how do you feel about tomorrow? Because Washington's awfully tough, and you guys have played 10 games now in 2 nights. How do you feel?
Well, I just feel hungry for more. I want to win tomorrow too. I'm tired, of course, but yeah, I'm super excited still.
Are you aware of the teams you're playing, like how good they are? Like Washington's a team that has beaten Hawaii the last handful of years in the regionals, and I wouldn't say they're a rival, but they've been kind of a pain in our side. Are you aware of things like that?
No, I'm not.
Okay, now you are.
Thank you.
I think that's why she plays so uninhibited. You just go out and play.
Yeah, exactly. We watched video before, of course, but I don't really know the teams. I haven't seen any of these girls play before I got here.
Which maybe might be an advantage.
Yeah.
Because you're just going out there playing, right?
Yeah, I have nothing to lose, honestly. Yeah.
Definitely an advantage, I'd have to say. So if you look at the team as a whole right now, there's some lineup changes. We're talking about the libero here and there. What is something you feel that you need to work on?
I feel like I need to work on staying positive and just keeping my body language is something I have to work on. And then, I mean, there are bits and pieces in like the different like block defense, of course, but I think it's all mindset, honestly. Yeah.
I got one last question for you. Do you have any friends back in Sweden that are as good as you that would like to come to Hawaii?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I do, yeah. We have a lot of, promising players in Sweden. The problem is we don't have that much money, and I think it's hard to this is so far away. College in USA, it's so far away for us, so we can't really see it, that it's there. But I think me coming here might be an eye-opener for someone, and so I hope more people can go abroad. Yeah.
Hawaii's had a pretty good track record. This guy had 4 of them from Sweden. They all did pretty well. So congratulations. Only 2 matches into your career. We're really excited for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hanna Helvig, our guest here in the corner. Stick around, though. We're going to come back and have some final thoughts and look forward to tomorrow night.
Welcome back to the Heineken Post-Game Show.
Well, another fun one here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Hawaii makes it 2 in a row with a 5-set victory over the Red Storm of St. John's. So tomorrow night it sets up a true championship match of the Hawaiian Airlines Invitational as Hawaii will face number 13, Washington, who yesterday beat the St. John's team in 3 and earlier today beat San Diego in 4, and then back at it starting on Thursday with another tournament, Army, Sac State, and Denver. So let's change our focus now to tomorrow. And Dave, you've had many memorable and not so memorable matches against the Huskies of Washington. That is going to be a good one, isn't it?
I still remember Emily Hartong swinging on game ball and game match and getting blocked. Oh, my gosh. We had them. But then I think back about when Amber Kaufman had about 10 aces, 12
right?
aces, and set the school record for aces in a match. And that was awesome. We beat Washington here on this court.
You got a chance to watch them, I'm sure, a little bit the last couple of nights. I mean, they're a Pac-12 power.
Well, they're not as good as they used to be, but they're very, very, very good. And they got really good middles, and they just got a solid team. There are no weaknesses on that team, so we're going to have our hands full tomorrow night.
What do you think Hawaii needs to do, Lisa?
I think they need some rest is what I think. I mean, come on, it's a late night. They've played 2 back-to-back 5-game matches. They've done phenomenal, really, when you think about it, that their backs were against the wall and they came out and they rose to the occasion. The coaching staff made some pretty sweet adjustments, but I think, the emotion being home and playing in here, I love what Hana said about we might have had long nights, but it doesn't matter. I just want more. And I think she made a really good point. The bottom line is it ends up being the mentality. Yes, you're physically tired, but they're playing for the championship of this tournament.
And I don't think there's going to be a letdown. After last night, first match of the season, beating a ranked team, I think regardless, they're going to play up and they're going to be ready for, a number 13 team in the country.
Well, I think we will. I think the adrenaline will get back up, and, it's exciting to play Washington.
Oh, yeah.
They're ranked, and they're a really great program, and we want to win.
Dave, is it past your bedtime?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to say we. They want to win. Sorry, Candace.
By the way,
they want to win.
You did so well. We're going to bring Ryan in tomorrow.
I got fired, guys.
Dave will be back with us, I'm sure, sometime this season. And by the way, thanks, because you were outstanding both nights.
Oh, it was so much fun to be on with you guys. So much fun.
Same here. All right, I guess that'll wrap things up for us here tonight. Don't forget, join us 4:30 tomorrow afternoon with Game On, followed at 5 o'clock Hawaii and Washington. That'll about do it for all of us here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Special thanks to our always outstanding and multi-talented Spectrum Sports crew. For the coach, for Lisa, I'm Scott. Till tomorrow, we bid you aloha and a good evening from the Stan Sheriff Center in Manoa.